Ooh, I might actually. Whoa. Okay. Bad choice. Bad choice. Bad choice. I might be able to fix the clankers now that I think about it. However, I did forget to do some other things, so we'll do those first. That is me taking my selfie to post on the socials. Suffocate? Yeah, just a little suffocate Sunday. Why not? Yeah, I just had my morning cigarette. Exactly right. So it's all happy lacking. Um, you know what? Let's see if we can fix the clankers. That could be fun. Uh, just uh. Okay, okay. And then we have this going on. Like I said, I usually do this when the first ads are happening so that I'm not awkwardly typing away on the camera. But the lazy clankers, you hooked me in, okay? Yes, of course, see mama, do your thing. Um don't ever feel like you have to be chatting away, but I do appreciate the heads up or headphones up. Anyway, um so, the clankers, they have intrigued me. Yo, Blue, thank you so much.
I'm doing my part. Scream salute.
Well, we should hopefully be doing our part even sooner. Very shortly. Bear with me. Just a fuzzy little Sunday. Done. Okay, I think I've got it. I think I've got it. Okay. All I have to do is log in, maybe? Question mark. So, the PC has not been set up, but technically it is working. But my goodness, this TV that I have inherited as a bit of a starting point as a monitor, she ain't it, bro. She ain't it. It makes it incredibly fuzzy. It is not made for text whatsoever. Um, it ain't great. The nails are still red, but I cut them, so the tips of them I cut off because they were just getting too long again, and one of them started breaking. But I haven't tried to take the rest of it off. So I think that's been a good little compromise where it's just subtly red. It makes them look a lot stubbier. But that's okay. It's still alright. Just a little bit of flair. Not too much flair. Oh, I'll have to do both of these, I think. It is meant to be it is indeed meant to be 1080, but yeah, I can't like do you know what's funny? Is it actually gives the impression of how my eyeballs work always or don't work. So it looks like someone with astigmatism. That's what it looks like. Where everything's just like slightly blurry. You can read it, so I can see that this says enter the code from your authenticator app, but it's like overlapping and not clear, and the smaller the text gets, the worse it is. So I guess, is that the LCD screen? It is an LCD, so I kind of just assumed that that's what was causing the issues. Um, but it is working. It is working. So that's good. The UK plugs that I bought and that arrived have not blown up my computer, and that's what I care about at this stage. So that's good. Okay, all right. Now what? Oh. No, is this how it works? Commands. I don't think it's gonna work. I'm gonna embarrass myself. LCD should either work or not. I read that as LSD, or rather, like, I read it out loud as LCD, but no, god damn it! But in my head, I was thinking of it like LCD, and I was like, well, you're not wrong about wait, did I say the right one? I don't know anymore. The bot account must be different. It is different. That's why I'm asking for you to let me log in. Oh my gosh. Just let me log in with the other account, damn it. Okay, we're so close. We're doing live tech solving, and I probably should have done this. But I tell you what, speaking of solving tech, oh my goodness. Yesterday, I decided to finally start setting up everything, right? Whew. That was a little bit of a mission. There were updates out the wazoo, and then I would update, and then it would ask for another update, and then I'd try and work on like my OBS or my anything, and it's like, another update please, keep on updating, and it became one thing after the other and after the other, and whoo boy. Anywho, they can show you both a lot of psychedelic colors. Yes, I'm trying to get Clemputer. That's the one. Clemputer has been on holiday for far too long. It is time for us to bring them back from their long hiatus, their holiday, if I could make it work. Okay, what is this one? Why would they blow up your PC? Almost every power supply in the last 2 decades is an auto power conversion rather than a switch. Yeah, but I don't know that. You're asking questions about why, assuming that I know these things. I've only moved country with a different power plug once, and that was 2 weeks ago, when I've never had to try a different power conversion, and when my whole life it's been saying like, oh, they do have different volts, but that's just the Americans apparently. I don't know how it works. That's not my expertise. I don't have expertise. I'm just out here trying to fix a robot, okay? Yeah, they're scary. Nice. Xcomputer has returned. They have finally returned. So that's gonna cause interesting overlaps. The bot doth returned. Welcome back, computer, Clemputer even. That is excellent news. See, look, I might not know about how electrical currents work, but I can fix a robot, apparently. You want me to hit a woman? That is such a bad joke. You're not allowed to make those kinds of ones. No, not allowed. Not allowed. I'm not laughing. That would be inappropriate. That would be highly, highly inappropriate. Okay. No expertise, but is an expertise. Yes, indeed. Look at me. Oh my god. Okay, actually, this is a terrible segue, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I was about to say, yeah, look at what I'm wearing after all. And it reminded me of a video that I saw. So the video was basically a satire. And it was the whole, like, well, just look what she was wearing. She was asking for it. And then they did a whole skit on how it's like, ooh, if we can get stuff just by what we wear, what else can we ask for? And so then they like dress up in a suit and they're like, time to get a raise at work, and time to go on holiday even though I haven't asked for the leave, and so on and so forth. Time to get a free coffee. just because of what I'm wearing. And, I thought it was a good derailment of the argument, even if it's in a comedy satirical sketch. So if you ever hear someone saying, well, she was asking for it because of what they were wearing, it's like, well, are you asking to be on a rugby team because you're wearing a rugby jersey? It's just not how it works. Anyway, that's it. That's the rant. That's the kind of stuff that ends up on my feminist algorithms. Oh, goodness. So anyway, what's up with airplane food, am I right? You guys actually want to hear something that I learned. I don't know if it's true, so I'm not going to bother fact-checking it, but I hope one of you guys do, because that would be appropriate, unlike my just blind acceptance of truth. So apparently, when you are in the sky, a lot of your senses are being not utilized, but they are dulled or heightened in different ways, I guess. And your sense of taste is dulled. And so, therefore, food in the airplane, there's like a whole science that goes into how to make it have any taste whatsoever, and it's also why it's quite bland, because of your taste buds rather than because of the food that you're eating. This is true! Well, that's great. The pressurized cabin and dry air, there we go. And so what is the deal with airplane food? It's not the airplane food, it's your taste buds, I guess. If true, explain the Mile High Club. Well, the thing is that the Mile High Club is a complete misnomer, because planes don't fly at a mile. That would cause a lot of accidents. And so whoever made it up is never actually having sex on a plane, because they are lying, because it can't be a mile. If they said 1,000 mile, I actually don't know how. 40,000 feet. How much is that in miles? Airline food is the only food I've ever tried where they recommend cutlery was a pickaxe. They told me to dress for the job you want. The zoo guests were very upset when I showed up to work in a mankini. I don't want to know. I haven't watched Borat, so if there's some sort of reference to a zoo and Borat at the zoo, I don't want to know. Thank you, Rel. Appreciate it. How's your desk doing? It's doing all right. I've come up here a few times to try and work on the PC. It is plugged in. But I haven't managed to get my camera working. So there are a few things that my camera turns on, so that's good. That means that the UK power isn't blowing up my camera either, because that's very expensive. But for some reason, it is not connecting to the computer. So I figured I'd solve that once all of the updates have been updated, because I kid you not, my computer was restarting on and off for about 5 hours because it was trying to get me to do one thing after the other. Jack on the Rocks tastes like Jack on the Rocks to me. Fair enough. Your average flight altitude of about 32,000 feet means you are 6 miles up. Really? Only 6? No, I don't believe you. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because it would be like, wait, no, maybe it is 10,000 meters would only be, what? This is making my brain hurt. Feet 2 miles. That makes me feel strange. 32, 1, 2, 3. 6 miles? It's only 6 miles up? Okay, well, I take it all back. Whoever's in the Mile High Club, I guess it is manageable. You just gotta have to do that on takeoff or landing. So if you're having sex on a flight at cruising altitude, I don't accept that you're in the Mile High Club. You're in the 6 Mile High Club, maybe. However, if you somehow do this on takeoff and landing, I suppose it could be theoretical that you'd be in the mile zone, but you're not allowed to be in the bathroom at takeoff or landing. So, wow, in that case, I have to have full props and respect to whoever can get that done at takeoff or landing, because that's some skill, I'll tell you what. I could not believe that it's only 6 miles high. What is that in kilometers? That's not very high in kilometers. And you said space is only like 60 miles, was it? Where was the space on? It's only 60 miles. That's ridiculous. 220 and 240 volts is basically the same as far as electrical devices are concerned. Well, that's why I wasn't actually concerned, but I was like a little bit concerned. I just needed the confirmation, and I've got the confirmation so far. Okay, so what I want kilometer. No, not that many. So then we have 6 miles. That's only like 9.5 kilometers! Wow. That's crazy. That actually is blowing my mind. I can't believe planes fly that low. People run that distance. People run 10 kilometers in like less than an hour. What? What? Oh, I don't even know. That's... Oh, wow. Okay. So I have a goal. I want to be able to run 10 kilometers in an hour, just so that I can understand that if I do that, but if I had the ability to run straight up, that I would be able to punch a plane. Like a little uppercut into its belly. That's cool. Math man, that crazy. Fun Mile High infodump. Lawrence Burr Sperry, a 21-year-old American daredevil pilot and inventor of the, an inventor of the autopilot, oh, okay, is considered the founder and first member of the Mile High Club. In November 1916, when did the Wright brothers first fly their plane? You can't tell me planes have been happening for over 100 years, right? Including autopilot. What? Did helicopters, are they a thing before the airplane as well? Just, I figure I'll ask. Okay, so in November 1916, Sperry and a student scandalous, Cynthia Polk, reported... Also, shout out to Cynthia, learning... I don't know if they were actually learning how to fly, but they were learning something. But they reportedly engaged in sexual activity while flying in an autopilot-equipped Curtiss flying boat over New York. Good for them. You know what? That's incredible. Oh, goodness gracious. Around here we call 10 kilometers, a mil, here being in the Nordics. Huh. Cute, man. 10,000, but why? I was trying to see if it was like a million, well, it wouldn't be would it be a million millimeters? 10,000 meters. 10 million okay, I don't know why. So Mile High Club works for us. All right. Now I see. So the Nordics have figured it out. Instead of having Mile High Club at actually a mile, then you have... Oh, you know what? Maybe the Mile High Club would be acceptable if it's anything over a mile. So it should be over a Mile High Club. Above, or maybe at least a Mile High Club. Mile High Club. Anyone who has done the deed over a mile. Now that I know it's only 6 miles in the sky for your average cruise, I'm definitely more accepting of this term. I keep on going to take a sip of my tea and then I stop because I haven't poured my milk in. I'm just gonna raw dog this with my fingies. The blasphemy is blasphemying. There we go. Easy peasy. There were planes flying before the Titanic sunk. I hate that. What? Were there planes in World War One? I know that sounds really ignorant to say, but just keep in mind that when you go to school, they like to tell you about World War Two. The thing that I know about World War One is Gallipoli. And that was about soldiers arriving on boats. For those who don't know about Gallipoli, it was a huge tragic event for the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, as also known as ANZAC. They went over to Turkey, and there was a lot of deaths. That was our biggest loss during that war. And it now has a day of remembrance. The 25th of April is the day that they landed. And that has become kind of synonymous with a Memorial Day in general. It's called Anzac Day, but it is Australia and New Zealand's Memorial Day, recognizing fallen soldiers in all wars, not just World War One. But anyway, I'm blown away. And Lilgar, thank you. First helicopter was around 1939, just before World War II. Cool. Leonardo da Vinci, I have heard that they were the inventor of the helicopter and the zipper. They might not have created the helicopter in all its glory, but I know that they had the inventions and drawings. Hi, Seed. The time between the first airplane in space travel was only about 66 years, which is almost like, wait, is that the same amount of time as now? Why am I getting my mind so boggled by time at the moment? Okay, so first plane in space. So space travel, or the landing on the moon, I should say, because space travel was even earlier, but landing on the moon was 69. Nice. And it is now 2026. That's bonkers. Oh, that's a long time. Oh, goodness gracious. So not quite 60 years, but very close to it. Okay, I just love the fact that the guy who invented the autopilot was that confident, and Randy, he couldn't keep it in his pants. Well, how else are you going to show off how good autopilot is? It's like, I don't need to fly the plane. Maybe we've been all misinterpreting it, and it's Mile High Club, as in your... Okay, I accept this misinterpretation, Citrusella. If you can tell me what Mile High would imply. So it could be Mile High in the sense that it's like you referring to what as your all high. Technically, you enjoy the Mile High Club on a mountain if you count the ground as sea level. I do. You know what? I do count it. That doesn't mean I'm in the Mile High Club, for those who would obviously be curious about it. Stop being curious. That's inappropriate. But mile, 2 kilometers, 2 kilometer. That's 1.6 kilometers. So your mountain or your peak only needs to be 1,600 meters above sea level. And there are so many mountains that are taller than that. Yes, Mile High Club, acceptable for the mountain sexy times. And you know what? How beautiful. I think that is gorgeous. Arguably, so this is about the pilots in World War One. The most famous pilot of all time, the bloody Red Baron! He's got a whole song about him! Ah, of course, that's World War One. I guess I've just always associated it with World War Two for some reason. I've never thought about when the song was referring to, because I don't actually know the lyrics other than the bloody Red Baron. And... oh, is that when they had because there was a Christmas Day ceasefire, and that was in World War One. Is that what the Red Baron Snoopy song is about? Christmas Day ceasefire. There was one in World War Two as well. Christmas truce. But I was correct about the 1914 Christmas truce. And that was, is that what the Quiet on the Western Front is? Or is Quiet on the Western Front, oh my god, I'm learning so much about World War One already. I can't believe all of these things. What does Quiet on the Western Front refer to? Was that because I always assumed it was because it was eerily quiet and then something horrible happens. But I don't know, now maybe it could be the Christmas truth. Red Baron Snoopy song. Snoopy versus the Red Baron was 1966. So I think that the fact that it was in the 1960s makes me not feel so bad about assuming it was a World War II song. Do they talk about, because I know it's a Christmas song. It would be kind of wild if okay, this doesn't have the lyrics in it. I don't care that much. But it's all coming together. There's Winston Churchill showing off his strategic prowess, maybe. Does it count as Mile High Club achievement anywhere over a mile high, or does it need to be on an airplane specifically? I think that there is nothing in the title Mile High Club that implies that it needs to be in an airplane. And if it needs to be in an airplane, they should have made a better name for it. So, Mile High Club, or rather 1,600 meters. I think that this can be done at the top of a mountain, or even some of those cities that are high altitude. Okay, now I must look this up. Highest altitude city in the world. This is in Peru. What? That is at 5,000 meters? I didn't think it would be that high. Okay, so there are, that means there's going to be plenty of cities that are a mile above sea level. Cities a mile above sea level. Even Colorado! Guys, you could go to Denver and be in the Mile High Club. This is shutting down this whole achievement, I tell you what. Okay, that's all over 2,000. There are so many that are over 2,000 meters, or 6,500 feet. Then, this is on the wiki page, it's not even letting me scroll lower than 2,000. But Denver is apparently at 5,280 feet. It's famously known as the Mile High City. You can just go to Denver!
I don't even hang out that much.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. I was too, oh, I have a second monitor. I don't, even if I don't have, I could put it up, I could put you guys up here for anything that I miss. Wow, how good is having a second monitor? So my PC has been here. I have things to say about my delivery. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. I don't even hang out that much is what that said if I was listening properly. Well, thank you, Brew. I do appreciate it nonetheless. Okay. Calm. I am calm. So, I have my PC now. It is plugged in. It has a monitor that was an old TV that is plugged in. I have keyboard and mouse. I haven't managed to get my camera working, but I decided that I wouldn't worry about getting my camera working until all of the updates were done, because this has been turned off for 5 months, and so there was it was cycling so much yesterday, literally for 5 hours straight or something, and then I decided, you know what, I'll worry about why the camera is not connected once all of the cycling is done, and I think it's almost ready. I think some of the apps need a few updates, and then I'll just check everything, including the microphone, and now that I've just realized I haven't actually checked the microphone either. But it was just going and going so much that I decided we won't have the PC today. But I can technically see. I've got a monitor here, or a TV, but it is such an old TV that I can barely see anything. Though the text is so blurry. It feels like there's just this awkward black texture around everything. Like the contrast, that's what it is. It's like the contrast has been boosted really high, and so it just looks hideous and assaulting on the eyes. It is an LCD screen. It is 1080 60 FPS, so I thought it would be fine, but it's really... I've got to figure out how to change the TV settings, and then maybe it will be tolerable. It seems to be moving okay, so the like refresh rate actually is okay. I haven't tried to open any games on it because of all of the updates, so I don't know what that would look like. Maybe if it is a larger screen like a video game, it would be okay. And I do mean okay. I don't mean like, oh yeah, it'll be okay. I mean like, it'll be alright, manageable, tolerable. But reading text is just, so I guess I could try and make everything larger, but it is not nice. Not nice whatsoever. Okay, I also just, I was scrolling through and I just saw a lot of people have had sex while high. Nodders, exactly right. Let's see where we are after World War III and the scientific escapades. I hope we at least get flying cars. Yeah, it's just, you know, they robbed us of the hoverboard and tried to give us something on wheels. Like, if World War III is an inevitability, then at least let us survivors get something cool out of it. Recently, or the next generation. You know what? If it's World War III, then I probably have to just say the next generation at that point. Recently figured out the oldest niece will be entering her last year of high school. Oh my gosh! 30 years after you first entered yours. That's crazy. The club is an old club. I like it. My old, and then high, because plain high. It's yours because you're in it. My, oh yeah, so it's just my old high club. I hear it now. Yes, thank you, Citrusella. I accept. Like I said, I had to compute properly, and now it has computed, and now I can get the cadence. It's not a mile high club. It's a mile high club. We need the emphasis in the place it should be. I think you have some kind of lever or button on the brick wall. If you press it, it will open up a secret passage. I was thinking if I'm bold enough to look behind there. I'm not yet. Not yet. If you want a fantastic song about the Christmas trees, check out Sabaton. Oh, I don't know this. Holy crap, I'm so far behind. All Quiet on the Western Front is about German soldiers. Never mind. Hi, Lars. How's the comedy club? You tell me. Have you been laughing and in stitches? Because I've actually been pretty lucky on the lack of hagglers. Hecklers. So maybe not great. Okay, 6 Mile High Club doesn't have the same ring to it. No, it doesn't, does it? The current president said there were airplanes during Revolutionary War. What? Okay, I have to remember that you said our current president, which has its own connotations. Okay, all right. That maybe not quite. Maybe not quite. I won't. Not every, you know, planes may have been around a lot longer than I realized, but no. The Wright brothers were 1901? Wright brothers, Rat brothers. They were the, which World Fair was it? Was it at the World Fair? They made the first controlled sustained flight of an engine-powered, heavier-than-air aircraft with 1903. There we go. Okay, south of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. 1903 is when the Wright brothers flew their plane. So I shall not take 1776. Denver High Club, that's got a good ring to it. The first space hotel to be built at 69 miles high is gonna make bank $1 million. G'day, Luke. You can't just go to Denver. You have to find someone willing to participate with you while you're there. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. God damn it. Kiwi Man, why did you have to spoil our dreams? all of us could have just sat here pretending that we'll just go to Denver to get in the Mile High Club. You had to go and bring in some reality. And you know what? How dare? How dare? I'm not mad, but I am soul crushed, okay? I am incredibly upset, and I will cry about it later. Okay? Hi, Scooter. Sounds like there's some old ass settings with the PC is ugly. Your face needs an update. Got him. Having HDR on did that to one of my screens. Ooh, so can I turn HDR off? Is that what you're telling me? Dressed like you're asking for a monitor. Oh, you know, do you know what's so bad is, okay, so I don't have anything against titty streamers. Okay, I really don't. You know, there's an audience out there that they are, and a market that they are tapping into, and it's tried and true method. And so, to dress like you're asking for a monitor, I just had the intrusive thought of what would that look like? And I just started, like, in my head, I started doing, like, the ooh woo, and I went, oh, no, God, no, alright, no, I shot. That's not my vibe. That's not my vibe. But I'm also trying to think how else one dresses to ask for a monitor. That's all I've got. That's what the effect really has done. Okay, have you tried putting on your glasses? I actually was meant to get my glasses for because I thought I was looking really hipster with the because I think that I can get away with not too much Starbucks commentary if I'm wearing the beanie. But I thought if I put my glasses on, then I'll look more hipster than Starbucksy. Please press the weird brick. All right. Okay, left a link in the Summertime's Christmas truce in the Discord. Thank you. And the music video has near movie level quality. Damn, okay. It'd be a bad partner trivia. Basically, they got bored of fixing bikes and started doing plane stuff on the side. They stopped repairing bikes and refused to let people into the back room of their bike shop for a bit. Cool. Oh, the Wright brothers are sick as hell. I need to play more pub trivia. Have been playing in the UK. I only went to the one and I wasn't a big fan, but I went to another pub that has pub trivia, so I will try that one, you know? So you're not mad but disappointed by Kiwi Man's truce? Yes, exactly. Did I rant about the first actual flight being in O2 in New Zealand? I saw you say something about them Kiwi boys, and I didn't understand the correlation. Hey, look at that clanker working. I'll start a stream, really. Okay, so I'll go get my hipster look with the glasses very shortly, and I see HDR settings, so I'll try and turn that off. Yeah, just look like a hipster who works at Starbucks. Yeah, but it's gross if they're wearing beanies. It is an historical fact that the Wright brothers flew their bird-like monoplane on 17 December 1903, but many believe that New Zealander Richard Pearce was the first person to fly as early as 31st of March 1902, more than 18 months before the Wright brothers. Wow, okay, all right. Hi, Clover. Later witnesses reported that Pearce flew 400 meters and soft-landed on a hedge on his Timaru farm. His aircraft was also the first to use proper ailerons instead of the inferior warping system that the Wrights used. Oh my goodness! But I guess New Zealand was just too far away for it to be... Well, this is the other problem, okay? So for those who don't know, Australia and New Zealand have a lot of rivalry over various... inventions, I think, is the word I will use. But no one documented anything, so therefore you can never get the actual truth. And so the big one is pavlova. Who invented the pavlova? Pavlova is a meringue dessert, but it is a giant meringue the size of a cake, and you put fruits on it. And it is named after the ballerina, I believe her name was Anna? Someone can correct me on that, but because of this light, fluffy, like tutu of a ballerina, that's where the name pavlova comes from, because it's light and fluffy. It is a staple Christmas, summertime, because Southern Hemisphere summertime, dessert. But no one knows if it was Australia or New Zealand. And so over 100 years later, it is still such a contested rivalry of no, Australia made the pavlova, no, New Zealand made the pavlova, and there's just no documentation. There are some, like, early mentions of things like the pavlova, the flat white is another one. Lamington is named after Lord Lamington in Queensland, so I do think we have to give the Aussies the Lamington, unfortunately. But there's just nothing. There's just nothing in the early 1900s. And now, if I'm hearing that there was apparently some guy who could even fly, they're just doing their own thing over there. They didn't bother to write anything down. It was I who invented the pavlova? I believe it, Nine Fox. I feel like you've got a good culinary set, so I believe it. I believe it. Oh my gosh, not even Let's Roll for Dragons betraying me with the yes, it was Aussies. Oh, goodness gracious. Guys, if you need an amazing TTRPG content creator, please go check out Let's Roll for Dragons. It's so good to see you. Hello. Welcome to my comedy club. I haven't set up the PC yet, but it's a work in progress. If you guys wanna see, I can show you. Well, this is for Let's Roll for Dragons. So the monitor is on, and the rest of the attic is still incredibly messy. But, you know, we'll just tuck you guys back there. Oh, and you can see my very daunting camera. It's just hanging out there. So hopefully, I was so glad that it fit under the slanted roof. I donked my head already this morning because I put you guys up here. And then I went to hop out of the desk like this and I went bonk. Anywho, maybe you're just blind and need my glasses. I'll get my glasses, damn it. How many inventions are we talking about? How many do you know so far? I know 0. To me, it was invented by New Zealand because the first time I saw pavlova being made, it was you. And New Zealand, exactly. So New Zealand gets it. That's it. I don't care, just let us have the pav and they can keep Russell Crowe. Amen. My grandmother was neighbours with the widow of the named creator of the pavlova in Western Australia. I have heard you say your ties before, Schmick, so I remember giving you a little bit of a leeway, I suppose, but I still need the documents, alright? Okay. So, I'm going to quickly see if this HDR can be turned off. Select a display to view or change its settings. Yes, this is the display. HDR video streaming, display capabilities. I want to turn it off though. I don't want it on. I want it off. Nightlight color profile. Advanced display. Okay, well, at least I found the settings. I'll fiddle around after stream. Was no 8-wire Kiwi invention, or just the idea about ingenuity and how we use said wire? Oh, number 8. I have no idea what the number 8 wire is. So I don't think that is one I can comment on because I do not know. However, you know what, Australia? I'll give you something. I will give you something to mull over. I'm not saying that I think this argument is valid in the pavlova sense. I am just giving you another point of reference. The kiwi fruit. I have spoken about the kiwi fruit in many times. We even spoke about it just last stream, I believe. Now, the kiwi fruit is not native to New Zealand, but the New Zealanders, they took the Chinese gooseberry, they rebranded it to kiwi fruit because it looks like a kiwi. See, look, speaking of kiwis, if you look at this, does that not look like a kiwi fruit? A giant one? And then it became a whole marketing ploy for New Zealanders to be the exporters of kiwi fruit. And it did very, very well. And if you think that that means they stole the Chinese gooseberry, that is ridiculous. They're just good at marketing. Anyway, I just thought I'd put that out there in case the Aussies wanted to use an argument of the Kiwis, rebranding things as their own. My dad was Scottish. He was taught about every Scottish invention in school. Well, I didn't even learn about World War One, so what does my school know? Thousands and thousands of dollars my parents spent to teach me what? How to make bad pottery and a hobby that I would never pick up again, ever. God damn, that's education for you. Did you know apples originated in Kazakhstan? I did not know that. I know that apricots... well, now I'm doubting myself. I know apricots were in the Middle East somewhere, but now I'm doubting which country. I'm gonna look it up. Apricots. Origin. This says East Asia. Yes, that's good. China! Okay, no, I was gonna say Armenia, and this is saying Armenia, so this, okay, I don't feel too bad, but it looks like maybe China. Ancient China. But perhaps the naming came from Armenia. Perhaps that's where it comes from. Apricot. La 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 la. You know what? It doesn't matter. I was wrong. I'll look it up properly. You had a tuition? Well, it doesn't seem like it, does it? Apples originated in the Tian Shan Mountains of Central Asia, specifically in modern-day Kazakhstan. They were domesticated around 10,000 years ago from the wild species Malassiversi, I butchered that, and spread along the Silk Road to Europe. The ancestral forests are found near the Kazakh city of Almaty. Cool! That is cool! That is a completely new fact. I find that sometimes there are things that you just kind of don't think about, like, where do we come from? How did we get here? Why does my head hurt? And then you learn, and it's great. And they know that due to the old atheist stuff, it wasn't an apple in the Garden of Eden. Yes, pomegranate? No. Pear. There's a lot of theories. There are a lot of theories. I want to try an original apple from the original tree. So when I went to Cambridge, they had, I spoke about this a little bit last year, but when I went to Cambridge, they have a tree that is supposed to be the Isaac Newton tree where the apple fell on his head and he discovered gravity. It's a massive tourist hotspot, and it is the wankiest shit ever, because it's like this. If you actually look into it, the tree might be a descendant of the tree that Isaac Newton sat under, but it's just been marketed as the Isaac Newton tree, and it's just completely false. So if you ever find yourselves in Cambridge, the tree might be possibly perhaps a descendant, like from a cutting of a tree. But who knows? Who's to say? Who's to say? You may as well take a photo just in case. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, allegedly. Like, who's going to dispute it? Isaac Newton? He's dead, so... Tomatoes came from the Americas and didn't make it to Italy until the 1500s, despite the fact that they're so known for all of the Italiano, with the Italiano tomatoes. I guess they're big exporters. Pretty much, unless it's Australian grown... I don't even know about New Zealand grown, but the Italian tomatoes, tin tomatoes in particular, are incredibly popular. Sorry, not popular, but they are the shelf staple in Australia, and so I wonder if that's like that for the rest of the world. The Silk Road is super fascinating. It shaped a massive history. Yes, so just all of these things. I think that that's one of the things that I got really interested in when I came to the UK last year on my travels, is I found that learning some of the British history actually made me understand New Zealand's history even more, particularly with colonization. But the British history does link on to my country's history because of the colonization. And so I think that it really helped understand where things came from, and Silk Road, or even earlier history. And so, for example, learning some of the British history made me understand more New Zealand history and the ties through that. But then if you go back further, you can learn about the Vikings that came to UK, or what is now the British Isles, we'll say that. The Vikings who came over, the Romans beforehand that then just were like, this place sucks. And so it just, there's this constant, I guess, can I say spillover effect? But you can keep on looking backwards and backwards, and there's just always something that came before, and it is fascinating. It is so, so incredibly fascinating. I just, sometimes unfathomable, and then you just start getting existential because you're like, we're just truly a blip in time. So, as we always say, try not to be a dick during that time. How was your St. Patrick's again? I forgot. So St. Patrick's is more well, I didn't go out on St. Patrick's Day because it's not something that I feel any strong emotion towards whatsoever. But I did go and buy a whole pack of Guinness, and so I had been drinking some Guinness over this week, not just on St. Patrick's Day. And that was nice. I don't mind a Guinness. However, I did try a new, I guess, creamy stout-ish. It was a lot lighter. So I remember when I did my Dublin IRL, I really did enjoy Guinness. And I do like Guinness, but I'm not like, ooh, yes. Like, I'm like, ooh, that's tasty. I am pleased to have received a Guinness. Thank thee. And so I'm happy to sip away. But I tried a John Smith's, and it's a lot lighter than a Guinness, but it still has kind of some of the flavors that a Guinness has, and that I really liked. I think it's a John Smith's, but I don't know which John Smith's. So that's a Yorkshire product. And it was just nice. That one I could drink so easily. Anywho, it's like geography shaped and still shapes our culture. Oh no. Just immediately bringing in Iran with that. No. I will say that I was, when I was on holiday, I kind of checked out on current events, and so the last 2 weeks in my offline time I've just been catching up on a lot of news, and so I'm feeling almost like I'm up to date with the Iranian shenanigans, but no further comments. No further comments. Okay, let me see what else is there. She and Ruby just had a couple of Guinness and kept it chill. Exactly, it was nice. And then still had some Guinness to sip away on as the days went on. Because there was a nice big pack that I could help myself. It's just amazing how one set of trade routes shapes so much of what is still there today. Exactly. Rawr! Let us steal some words from your dictionaries. Yeah, the Vikings probably. That's the one. John Smith, that's a made-up name, it sounds like it. John Smith's with an S on the end. I smoke a pack of Guinness a day, it sounds like it, hey. My mum was old enough to grow up during the troubles of the English side, not a huge fan of St. Paddy's. Ah, there we go. Yeah, because I was gonna, look, St. Patrick's Day, I know, is kind of just an excuse for a lot of people to go out and get drunk. And I'm just out here saying, I don't need an excuse. No, I tease. But I don't know a lot of the history of St. Patrick whatsoever. So I don't even know what a shamrock shake is. That just sounds like maybe fake lime milkshake. And I don't even think that Irish would have a shamrock shake. They're not exactly known for their milkshakes, are they? But I guess if well, I don't go to McDonald's, so I wouldn't know about this. However, mint actually. What about that? It feels Irish whatsoever. It's a minty milkshake from McDonald's. That just is marketing from McDonald's. And you know what? Fair enough. Yeah, they want to make their quick bank somehow, and that's how industries and capitalism works. Is it a Shamrock Shaker handy from an Irish lass? That I got me a Shamrock Shake because I'm a lucky guy. Yeah, I can. Yep, I accept this. I'm a lucky guy because I got. Yeah, all right. It's an American thing. Anything green equals St. Patrick's. Well, even the leprechaun I learned. Oh my goodness, that was something that I did learn when I was in Ireland. Anyway, so point being that I don't know the history, but it was St. Patrick, someone who was supposed to have liberated Ireland, which in that case, as Sarian was saying, would have the, there's no losers in war. And I know that there is a lot of oppression that the British were doing on, with the Irish. But of course there would be, bad history if there were more, if this was a war. I love how I looked up St. Patrick's Day and the Sydney Opera House was the thing that came up. Okay, so it was made an official Christian feast day, observed by the Catholic Church and Anglican communion, especially Church of Ireland, of course. La la la. And then I guess a lot of Irish immigrated to America as well. It's a public holiday in Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and the Canadian province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Interesting. And then overseas territory, la 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 la. And then widely celebrated with large Irish diaspora communities. And then, who was St. Patrick? 5th century, okay. What do we have? He was kidnapped by Irish raiders, taken as a slave. Huh? And then God told Patrick to flee to the coast, and then a ship would be waiting to take him home, and then he became a priest. Patrick returned to Ireland to convert the pagan Irish to Christianity. And the Irish were okay with that? Criticism, here we go. Oh, that's just about St. Patrick's Day. And the drunkenness. But I guess it is basically the guy who brought Catholicism to Ireland, and that seems to be what I got on a very skimmed level, but I'm sure that it goes deeper than that. People do go nuts over Shamrock Shakes. Are they tasty? I can't imagine a lot of people loving mint. It's absolutely just a marketing ploy, but it sells like hotcakes, exactly. It's gonna be green milkshake. Yeah, that's exactly right. Hi, BA, good to see you. He returned with a large army, yes, except God. Look at all of us godly men. The swords need not intimidate you. Oh, goodness gracious me. Anywho, yeah, so exactly right, Sarian. It was, it said around 5th century. So a lot more to be looked into, about how, that affected, the British as well. Because I think that's what I was missing, is I can't really see how that, affected the British. But it is interesting. We're about to hit an ad break, so I'm going to go rush down and get my glasses. But I will be back before they are over. So the subs get the first look. So if you want to... Okay, I'm too far away to bother... Okay, I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Alright, did you see any St. Patrick's Day? Well, it was really hard to see St. Patrick's Day celebrations if I didn't go out. So, as a reminder, I am living in Southampton, which is like southwest of London, and I can tell you that I didn't see anything obvious. I didn't see anything in the supermarkets, for example, that were like, buy St. Patrick's Day stuff. I actually saw more Ramadan and Eid marketing than I did for, oh, you heard my sneezes, did you? Not Southampton, but I do think it's funny. Hi, Heart, how you going? Oh, sorry, Heat, my apologies. So I didn't see anything in the supermarkets that were advertising St. Patrick's Day. I didn't go to the city centre, so I didn't see, I guess, the main strip if they were holding St. Patrick Day events at the pubs or restaurants. The week before, I was at the mall just getting bits and bobs, and I didn't see anything there. So I would say that I've seen more like look of the Irish stuff in Australia, actually, and posters saying come to us for St. Patrick's Day. But like I said, I didn't go out that day in particular, so I'm sure that there were plenty of pubs that had specials on Guinness or something, and maybe people would dress up. But I'm wondering if, and this is pure speculation, I have nothing to back this up whatsoever. Give me another year and maybe I can look into it. But pure speculation is that why would the British care? Like, yes, there is some migration from Ireland over here, but I feel like with how contested the history is between the British and the Irish, that I can't imagine that the British would want to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, you know? Hi, Kelp Devil, welcome on in. And so we were just talking about St. Patrick's Day. And so I think that it wouldn't be as big a thing over here. Anyway, hi Raiders, welcome on in. If you haven't come across me before, my name is Clem, and I am a Just Chatting streamer first and foremost. I have been trying to, I've just moved to the UK, so I'm very bare bones with my setup at the moment. But I have officially plugged in my PC, but it's just not working, so I'm not on my PC. It's adjacent, I can look at it, and the monitor's on, but I'm not streaming from it. And so we've just been hanging out at my comedy club, mucking around, and, oh, and you guys have just come in, at the hipster vibe time. So, these are my glasses that I never wear. And I'm about to find out that there's some gunk on it, so that's concerning. If we can increase the hipster vibes, because I was feeling like the beanies was given hipster vibes. My sister, her kids, and my parents are visiting UK next week. They didn't invite me, but tell them I said hello. Shall do. I'll pop up to London and say hi. Please not to be a gross human being. I mean, that's exactly what we say, you know? Just try not to be a dick. You can look at the PC, but you can't see it without your glasses, exactly. Clem's type 5. I don't actually know what that means. I know that it's like a exercise thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Always a good time hanging. Community is gone to lurk and sleep, but finally done the name change. Well, that's I saw that you said Oz. Congratulations! You should have let us know. We could have come hang out. Although I will admit that I would have been asleep. I hope that your first day of streaming went well. That is so fun. That is so incredibly fun. That makes a lot of sense of where the name change has come from. I know that it can be very exhausting, especially if you've done your first one. So if you're feeling either in need to decompress, don't feel like you need to chat. 2, if you're feeling extra adrenaline fueled, then go get your energy out. But a huge congratulations. Guys, if you didn't know, the Kelp Devil is a long-standing community member. And they've just done their first stream by the looks of it. Stream under name change. Been streaming, for over a month now. My apologies. Okay, this one was extra long and extra special. Well, congratulations on your streaming journey. And the stream name change. Kelp Devil is fun. I like that a lot. That suits you very, very well. And now I shall embrace the hipster look. No, I appreciate you rating on in. That is very sweet. Thank you so much. I'm not convinced I look more hipster. I feel like I look more librarian. I think it's because my glasses aren't really hipster chic. I think that I'm given, I don't have a book up here. Do you guys think that it's looking, yeah, they're not hipster glasses, exactly. But that is why it's like, oh, she just looks like a cozy individual, you know? Oh, thank you, Darth. You're just looking like a cozy individual. It's a cold day. It's not doing, yeah, if it were a Kindle, I think we could make it work. And maybe a scarf. The beanie's doing a lot of the work. I think that if we got a scarf, but like a really gaudy scarf, that it could work. However, that is why I brought a second pair of glasses. You liked glasses before they were cool. Okay, hold on. Wait for it. I think that these are too cool. These glasses are too cool to be hipster. They're like, I don't know. I'm not convinced on these ones either. I guess I just cannot be hipster. It's a bit more hipster, but I feel like it's a different vibe as well, you know? If we take the beanie off, then you'll see there's kind of like, I feel like it's more hipster without the beanie. More hippie than hipster. Yeah, it's very John Lennon, hey. Alright, well. I don't like wearing my glasses because they remind me how blind I am. So many people are like, oh, you know, when I wear my glasses, I swear that my vision is getting worse. No, it's just that you realize how much better you can see with your glasses. Like now. Oh my gosh! Everything's so clear! Everything's so beautiful again! Yeah, like you're about to say peace and love. Not these ones, but the other ones. Peace and love, man. Peace and love. Yeah, I just, I don't know. I was gonna go off on some peace and war rant, but I don't have it in me. I had to get all these glasses just to try them on. I only have 2. Those are the only 2 I have. But in answer to your question, seriously, is I used to work at an optometrist, but this was now 4 years ago. So these are 4 years old. Actually, these are even older. These are from Jeepers 2019. Oh my gosh, I've had these a long time. But I got these before I worked at the optometrist. And so But I got the other ones as a fun project because it was cheap to do so when I was working there. And those and my sunglasses are the only glasses I own. Actually, that's a lie. I did have another pair, but I actually did not take them with me to the UK. Those are at a what do they call them? An op shop. I took the lenses out, but they were so awful on my ears that I decided that they would not be coming with me. Save the material for the comedy special. Hilarious. Chuck Norris caught all the Pokemon in Pokemon Go on a landline. Hilarious. R.I.P. Chuck Norris. Oh, the memes will not be quite as applicable, but it is very sad to see another great go, you know? It's sad. And it's rough. It's rough. I know a lot of people would have been very upset. Kind of druggy vibe. They are a bit druggy vibe. Hey, the pink ones. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. When you wear your glasses for a while, your eyes get a bit lazy, and so when you take them off, your eyes need a while to adjust. I'm not so convinced. I think that it is... Oh my gosh. Wow. Is that how the world actually looks? These bricks are so colorful. What the heck? Oh my gosh, no wonder you guys complain about the bricks. Wow, I see how wonky they are now. Oh god, I am blind. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'll give you an example of how bad my vision is. This row here, this gap, that's not a gap. I can't see that gap without my glasses on. And that's a really fucking obvious gap. What the heck? I can see this one. That's a hole. That's not a gap. That's just a straight up hole. Oh my god! No wonder you guys keep commenting. That one, obvious. I can see. Well, actually, it kind of just looks discolored. Wow. How embarrassing. What? Wow, I feel like I'm seeing for the first time again. I kid you not, I didn't realize how bad my bloody wall was. That's... okay, well, I'm gonna have to think about that one. That's... Well, at least my vision is not deteriorating, because these... What did I say? 7-year-old glasses are really doing the trick. Yeah, go fix yourself up. I've got to figure out what I want to call you. Kelp? Devil? Devil. Devil seems good. But yes, go eat. Thanks for the lurk as well, and thanks for the raid. You took the hippie glasses off for 1 second and already have war on the mind. I need to put the hippie glasses back on so I can be peace and love, peace and love. I don't wear my glasses because of the shame my friends and family give me. The thing is that I don't really feel like I need to wear my glasses, but this brick wall is really, it's really proven something. Because, like, before I put my glasses on, we were streaming for an hour, I could read everything, and this is the problem, right? This is the problem with my vision, is it's not bad enough for me to feel like I need to wear my glasses, because I can see everything, and I can make out the shapes, and, like, I can read, because you can be like, well, the word glasses, it's pretty obvious that it says glasses. But then it's stuff like this that really surprises me how bad my vision is. Not so much words or reading, because it's more the blurring of things rather than I can't see far or can't see near. And like I said, the bricks and the terrible mortar, is that what it is? Anyway, whatever the material between the bricks is, material is what is really showing how much I need the glasses, because it just looks like a flat brick wall. All of this looks like it is incredibly flat, and that all of the this stuff is flush with the brick. And then I put my glasses on and I go, ah! That is not a flat brick wall whatsoever. Now you might understand why I haven't been so fussed about it. But yeah, it's very, very obvious. Anywho, Chuck Norris has met the Grim Reaper, who is now the former Grim Reaper. That's hilarious. I like that. That's a cute way of doing it. What's your prescription? I'd have to get an updated one to be sure, but my astigmatism is very high. So my sphere, the last time I got it checked, is only minus 0.5 in one eye and minus 0.25 in the other. So in terms of like 20/20 vision, my sphere is very good, but my astigmatism is like a -2 in one eye and a -1.5 in the other eye. And so this is the cylinder. If you guys know how to read prescriptions, you know that's very blurry. That's very astigmatism-y. There's definitely a Monday morning hangover of a drop of bricky. Well, now I know. Yeah, I know, Kiwi Man. You've been telling me to put them on, and I didn't know. The gaps are hiding contraband, and it's cool. That's the one. Nice gap. Hope you didn't drive without the glasses. That's what I wear my glasses for, is for driving. During the day, it's okay, but I basically cannot see at night because lights are just... So I never drive without my glasses when it's nighttime. During daytime, I don't wear them as much as I should, but I also don't drive, so it's fine. How do I look, be honest? Well, you look very crisp. I tell you what, I can really see that dog in you now, you know? 3 years ago, I had 20/20. Now I have astigmatism. It really is noticeable how much you don't appreciate perfect eyesight when you have it. Exactly. This is what the Matrix scene was originally like. Hilarious. I have very shitty vision. I can see the gaps when I take my glasses off. Well, good for you, I guess. You don't go for a green screen. No, I like my bricks, okay? I like my bricks. Therefore, I am lying. Yes, because that's how it works. That's how it works, because just because you see one thing means that that's how I have to see it as well. Did you know hedgehogs are lactose intolerant? I did not. I would have assumed that they would have... Oh, but I guess lactose, does that imply more so cow's milk? Also, I've only just noticed that the username or the follow was bend over for your daddy, and that's hilarious. Hi. It's an eye-opener for sure, exactly. Is it all a blur for you without the glasses? No. No, but it is blurrier. The thing is, I've never really thought about it because I don't wear my glasses. You know all about incredibly flat. That's the one. It is Mortar. Okay, thank you, thank you. Drink some tea and wake up, brew. Astigmatism is not seeing well near or far. Not quite. So basically... this would be so much easier if I, do I have a piece of paper? Let me, you know what, I'll show you guys. One moment. Okay. Welcome to my lesson. See, the thing is, the glasses have made me a teacher. Yes, I can see you, Rel. Don't worry. Don't worry. I can see clearly now. So, welcome to my lesson. Oh, I should have got something that I could pop there. It was flat pack furniture instructions, yes, but I see that this one is painted. So, basically how your eyeball works is physics. Who'd have thought? Okay, so, here is an eyeball. I can't draw very well. Here is an eyeball, and this is the lens. And to see a clear image, light needs to hit the back of your eyeball. This is now in the back of your head here. It needs to hit this part of the eye, okay? That's a boob. It does look like a boob. So, when the light comes in, the lens at the front of your eye is meant to refract the image onto the back of your eyeball, okay? So images, the world, the beauty that is the world, that comes in. Yeah, I know I'm being very light. Thank you, Davey Andy. So the world is here, and then the light comes in through your eyeball, and that refracts onto the back of your eyeball so that you can see a clear image. If this happens for you, you have perfect vision, okay? Oh yes, that's right. And then the brain flips it over. Thank you for the extra. That's bonus points for you, Clover Crimson. And so then the image refracts onto here. We see a clear image. However, if you are struggling with distances, near or far, then sometimes the image, your eyeball is only refracting the image to land here or even here behind the eyeball. So it's falling short, or the opposite. The image is too far. And so you can't see a clear image because it's not falling onto your eyeball. And so that's where glasses come in, because they help change that refraction to get the image to the back of the eyeball here. And so this is where you have troubles with near distances or far distances. It's not coming onto the back of the eyeball. So that's kind of the simple one. Now we're going to astigmatism. Astigmatism, I'm going to draw a bigger eyeball. We got a big eyeball here. The problem with astigmatism is that you have a stupid ass, way more boobish, erect nipple looking eyeball. And so it makes all of the refraction from the light go super crazy. It goes crazy. So the light comes in to the crazy part, and then instead of focusing on the back here, it'll start going like, hold on, I've got to draw some things. This would have been easier if I had my, if I just went from the PC, but you know what? It's more fun like this. So it ends up having a whole bunch of images that are going all around the back of your eyeball because it's not getting one like focus. It's not getting one point. So you're not getting a clear image because you're getting a whole bunch of points. And the image that is coming through here is like focus. It's here, it's here, it's here. It's not clear. Not because it's falling short or far, but because it's causing this like blurry double vision because you're seeing too many things at once. And so that is what astigmatism is, exactly. And so that's what my eyeball is like. So my I don't need help correcting here where I need it to come back a bit or come forward a bit. I need help focusing these points into one singular point. Yeah, it's splitting up. The image is like going haywire. So my lens that I'm wearing now helps bring these points into the singular focus, and now I can see good. And now I can see excellent. So that is astigmatism versus near or far distance. So my near or far distance is actually pretty darn good. So the light is falling at the back of my eyeball where it should be. So I don't need help correcting that to go forward and back, but I need help correcting it to be focused, clear, single point, essentially, in somewhat reductive terms. And so that is why when I look at the bricks in the background, it looks really flat because I'm seeing, it's just kind of, I'm seeing so much that it just seems to be flat. And then I put these on and it's all clear and focused and I'm like, whoa, that's a messed up back brick wall. And that is why I wear these glasses. When I wear these glasses. How could the glasses help when your astigmatism changes throughout the day? Oh, because of the like weakness. I'm still young, so it helps even when I'm tired. So when I'm tired, my vision gets worse because my eyes are lazy. But I think the glasses help me not have to work so hard. And so they can also work okay when I'm tired. It does seem neater without the glasses. But that is the extent of my knowledge. I shan't be taking any more questions. I can see clearly now the earth's not flat. Exactly. Why are your teeth so white and big? Because my dad is actually a horse. But, you know, I was gonna make a more appropriate joke, but I thought that it's a little bit too close to home. But know that I'm thinking it. Are you trying to eat me like cannibal or witch? No, you don't look very tasty, so I wouldn't eat you. Mainly because of your attitude. But nonetheless, does it mean you can't do 3D movies without the glasses? Well, 3D movies aren't great anyway, so I don't think that's a very good talking point. The blending together without your glasses. Yes, yeah. So it's all kind of just wet. How does Elven infravision work? You can tune in next time for that lesson. Is this kind of how galaxies can bend light around them? I don't know. I'm not a cosmologist. You are the product of our evolved and gentlemanly society. Quite the very same. My eyes get better at 3 to 4 a.m. I'm weird though, nothing new. I guess that's just when maybe your eyeballs are getting tired, and then that's the lens correction to get the point better. Horse scientist like BoJack Horseman? Well, not quite. He wasn't a scientist. He was an actor, but same. Do it. Well, look, that's why he's camera shy, the more you know. I don't want to make inappropriate jokes about sizes of horses. That would be gross when talking about my family, okay? And I'm not gonna do it. That's disgusting. And I'm not gonna talk about how, you know, maybe some women like that. That would be gross. We're talking about my mum and dad, okay? My mum's a lovely woman. She likes people for who they are, their kindness, their gentleness, the majesticness. Nothing to do with riding off into the sunset and how good a ride it is whatsoever. That is gross, okay? That is gross. I'm not gonna do it. But, you know, something, why the long face?
Desk.
Yahoo! Thank you so much! Thank you. Very much appreciated. And Loris for helping tick us over the edge there. That is very kind. Our desk is officially paid for! Thank you. That is incredible. Very much appreciated. And look, I am very grateful for your charity. I'll have to think of a new one, but we'll worry about that maybe next week or next month. Thank you. Free desk. Thank you so much. No, genuinely, I do mean it very sincerely. That is very kind. And now it's actually been very sturdy. It's genuinely been very sturdy. I'm happy with it. I think that I would have liked a larger desk, but not knowing exactly how it would fit in the space, I think that this has been a really, really good one. The computer looks really good on the shelf as well. I'll show you guys. Wait, I'll just double check. You guys might see how terrible it looks down there, but also it looks terrible anyway. Look, it looks so good. Just on the end there. So I am very, very pleased. And then the little owl will be good for my monitors. And happy girl. Yes, it is an MSI. It is a pre-built MSI. And it because it is pre-built, it's so slim. However, it is 6 years old now. 5 years old, sorry. It's 5 years old now, so maybe eventually I'll look at upgrading, but she does the job. Hi, Lexington. Also, Chris, you're so fine. Sorry if it came out wrong. Let me just read this again. In all honesty, I was just jealous of your perfect teeth. Sorry if it came out wrong. You're quite alright. You know, sometimes you're like, wow, that thing is so, it's cute aggression, right? So for example, people are like, oh, that thing is so cute, I just want to squish it. And it's like, ma'am, that's a kitten, you'll kill it. It's cute aggression. Sometimes you just have overwhelming feelings and you don't know how to handle them, and so you do the opposite. And you know, you say, wow, such perfect teeth. What are you? A cannibal? A witch? Are you gonna eat me with them? And it's just conflicting, confusing emotions, and I don't blame you for that, and that's okay. We're all here to just have a time that helps us understand who we are, what the fuck Dalter is sending us. A giant horse conch weighs over 11 pounds.
The giant horse conch weighs over 11 pounds.
He did not say conch. He did not say conch. That is not the word he said. I like how Dalter just comes out from the lurking hiding hole just to share me some horse conch. Anywho, my cat is curled up in my lap purring away. I'm incapable of moving. Godspeed. It was nice knowing you, Enlock. Say hi to Chuck Norris for us, since I guess, you know, that's where you belong now. Yeah, anywho. Pre-built cringe shimmers? What do you call it? What am I supposed to call it? I just built a new PC before RAM prices increased, built myself with MSI motherboard and PS2. Yeah, I love my little MSI. He's a good one. He's traveled a very, very far way to get here, so much I'm very pleased that it is working since moving countries. It's good. It's good. Now I just need to get a better monitor as well. Love violence, am I right? That baby is so... Yeah, love violence. Cute aggression is how I've known it to be called. That baby is so cute, I just want to eat them toes. What the fuck? Yeah, exactly. Cat photo has been posted. I'm looking forward to seeing it. How do we get from horse teeth to horse cock? Because I said my dad was a horse, of course. I was waiting for an opportunity to say that. Thank you. Thank you for the setup. Thank you. Thank you. Chuck Norris killed all his enemies, so he decided to go into the afterlife to double kill them. That's hilarious. Oh, yes. I don't know where to go from here. Oh, wait, in my rantings, I did forget to add, I did forget to add one thing about how obvious this correlation is. The hair, of course. Like, you're gonna say this is the result of two humans creating this mane? Because I saw someone else said something about the mane, and I was like, yes, I will get back on track, but then we lost it. We lost it. It's just, like, come on. Like, you're saying that two humans created this? Nah, not one chance. Chance isn't even how I say that word. That's just how, how serious I am. Like, look. Don't you reckon? It's majestic, exactly. It's like a commercial, but with a horse. In the beginning, God said, let there be light. Chuck said, only if you say please. Adorable. Yeah, it's a good mane, exactly. Yeah, the thing is, well, I had one girl do my hair one time, where she put my hair in a ponytail, and it looked so good, and I've never been able to put my hair in the same ponytail ever again, and it makes me sad, so I just never put my hair in a ponytail, which is kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I don't practice putting my hair in a nice ponytail, and therefore I don't learn how to do a nice ponytail, you know? Ah, thank you, Dalton. I also think I need to just get better at having my forehead showing. Because the thing is, I don't think I have a giant forehead. I have a normal size forehead. I'm sure that if I pulled all my hair back, that people would be like, wow, forehead. And it's like, yes, that's what they are. That's what they do. That is how they exist. They're on top of one's head. I have a tiny head. And so, but the thing is, it's not so much that I have any self-consciousness about my forehead. It's just that I'm so used to having my hair down that it's less so about this and more like, I guess I'm not used to no hair being around my jawline. I'm used to a frame, I suppose. I'm used to having a frame, and so that is why I don't typically put my hair up because I'm like, wow, my jaw, I can see it. Ah, it's not as egregious. Thank you. That's a nice way of saying you do have kind of a disproportionate forehead, but it's not as disproportionate as others. With my hairline's more like a 27 head. I love it. That's good. For those who don't know, Lexington is has no hair, so it just keeps on going. You're gonna show all 4 heads on stream? Well, only if you ask nicely. Glad your desk is up and standing. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was good fun building it, actually. I love building flat pack furniture. I actually have a little shelf that I must build, but that's not for here. Hair up for special occasions, exactly. That's why you always gotta be prepared, you know. But I find that when, if you guys are actually curious, so first of all, I didn't wash my hair, so that's why I'm wearing the beanie, also because it's cozy. If you guys are actually curious, hashtag GWRM. If I ever need to put my hair up, I never actually do ponytails. I often will just do like what I call the pirate bun. So that's kind of my vibe. Is I don't like, oh, it's like a half up, half down. I don't like doing a full ponytail. So yeah, that's the one. Oh shit, I did it the wrong way. Hashtag GRWM. That shows how little I do how I don't do get ready with me's. Get ready with me. So that's the vibe I go with. I just do a little halfy, and then after time it kind of falls out a bit, and I'm like, yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. Or I don't mind a messy bun as well, because then it's like, because I think that's the thing. If so many people are really good at doing the slick ponytail, right? I am not one of those people. And so if I purposefully make it kind of messy, then I can get away with it, because it's like, well, it's supposed to be messy, you know? You know? It's supposed to be messy. So then it's like, who cares? Who cares? Not me. So that's kind of the only ways that I put my hair up, because I don't know how to do anything else. I wrap my bun, you get the curls when you take it out. Yeah, so sometimes I'll braid my hair before I go to bed, so that I can have a little bit of a wave in the morning, so that can be kind of fun. But today is a lazy Sunday, so we got that beanie vibe. If you do get ready with me streams, you can write your makeup intact. Yes, that would be applicable if I had makeup that I was purchasing. And I think it's great for people who do wear makeup, but not applicable in my scenario. I do write off costume makeup. So if I buy like black lipstick, or if I buy I bought purple eyeliner once, I wrote those off on tax, because they were for costumes. But for regular makeup, I think I bought makeup 10 years ago, and it's not even halfway, like foundation, it's not even halfway through my bottle. It's just not my vibe. I've said this before, it's not that I don't like makeup, it's that it makes me want to claw my face off. I don't like the feeling of it on me. I guess similar to how some people don't like the feeling of sunscreen. Does sunscreen count as makeup? No. I think that sunscreen is, well, I guess if it's really white. I actually bought some sunscreen, and I was so upset, because it actually has been sunny recently. I was so upset because I bought this kind of moisturizer that's meant to also have SPF. I can't remember if it was It must have been 50 because I don't usually do less than. And I've had this brand in the past, and it kind of just soaks into your skin and looks great. Whereas whatever the hell they've done with this one in particular here in the UK, I look like I'm doing whiteface. And I'm already so pale. How can I do whiteface with such pale skin? And I was like, is it just, have I not shaken this up enough? What is going on? It's meant to be moisturizer. I just meant to moisturize my skin and then have a little bit of SPF protection. And it just is this thick glob of white. But yes, moisturizer is also not makeup. It's meant to help with dry skin. Yeah, only if it has bronzer in it. But this is why I told this story, because this one in particular, I guess if I'm trying to do clown makeup, then it's perfect. Might be slightly out of date by now. Yeah, but it's fine. Like, the thing is, they always say that there are these use by dates, but like, it's working exactly as intended, and therefore it's fine. The bun is very librarian. Good point as well. A texture thing, I guess. Especially on my eyes. I have very, very thin lids, so I don't like things on my eyes. It's not that I don't mind, like, it's not that I get freaked out at touching my eyes. It's just after a few minutes, I'm just like, ugh, I just want to... But the foundation, you can have really, really light foundation. That's fine. I don't mind that. It's usually just the eyeballs. I just want to scratch my eyeballs off. And then sometimes I get sneezy. Girls with straight hair want curly. Curly hairs want to have straight hair. Dark hair girls want light. Light girls want dark. I mean, not always. I think it's just more about versatility, which is nice. Some people are very happy with their color. And we can't really generalize it all. And one of the other things is it's beautiful that we have that choice, you know? I wouldn't be able to stand having shit all over my faces. Yeah, it's a sensory thing, exactly. I thought they have orange face with a spatula in the UK. So there was this girl that was at the coffee shop in South Africa. And this is actually, you know what? I'll palm this off on Kif, actually. So there was this couple that was at this coffee shop that Kif and I had gone to, and he kind of kept on staring at this couple, and I was like, whatever, like, he can do his thing. And then eventually he's like, I knew it. Sorry, I knew it. They're British. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, I was waiting for them to talk, and I can hear they're British. I knew it. I knew that they were British. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, look at her makeup. And I was like, damn, boy, you can't just call someone out like that. But I kid you not, as soon as I looked at this woman, I was like, okay, I do get it. I do understand. I wish I could show, how can I show you guys? How can I show you? Maybe on here. Maybe I can do a little swappy around. British makeup. It was so, like, stereotypical. I understood it. I was like, I get it. So this is someone who is doing somewhat of a caricature of British makeup, but this is what the lady looked like. The mousy brown hair as well. So this is, like I said, it's meant to be a bit more of a caricature, but that is how that lady looked, and anyway. So Kif called it, she was British. It was British, innit? There's the orange that Lexington was talking about. What is up with this lip choice? Look, there are plenty of girls who seem to not be doing this caricature, and it's fine. But oh my goodness. Even this lady here, she got the slit in the eyebrow. Oh, brilliant. It's British, isn't it? So, shout out, Kif. You know about the thin atmosphere above the UK? They need all that UV. They need all that UV protection, or rather, they need the UV to hit them as well. Or you're talking about the white face. When the Brits are little and you wear it so infrequently, I'll choose to ignore that. Yeah, well, I don't need the glasses particularly many times. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, we live in an age, and we have for many, many, many decades. In fact, centuries. Well, we can change how we look, and isn't that wonderful? That UK chav makeup, exactly. He got that spidey sense for Brits. He's like, get out of my country. It's the London look. Yeah, I think it's more Jersey Shore. From like the oh my gosh, reality show. That's the word I was looking for. Because in South Africa, I mentioned how there are so many Germans everywhere. And so I think that it is less common for the Brits. It seems like the Germans seem to go down there. And so it almost felt like not the Brits. Anything but the Brits. A weekly trip to the bronzing station, quite. What did I get back to? British makeup, innit? Couldn't decide whether I want a pizza or burger, so I'm back and unfed. I hate that. Yeah, the decision paralysis. Oh, you poor thing. Hopefully you can at least get a snack. Yeah, those ones were caricatures and parodies, but you get the idea through that caricature at least. You don't have to choose. Cheeseburger pizza also exists. So I was a bit lazy last night, and I decided that I would go and hunt for my food rather than try and cook something. And so I went to try and get a pizza, but the pizza place was closed, and I think it's closed indefinitely, so that's a bit shitty. But then there was a kebab shop, and so I was like, ooh, I'll see if I can do a kebab. And so I popped in, and I'm like looking at the options. There don't seem to be any vegetarian ones, and so I say, excuse me, hello, do you do any vegetarian kebabs, like a falafel? And like, oh, we could do like a salad, I guess. And I was just kind of mulling things over, looking at the rest of them. And they said, but we can also do a chips and cheese wrap if you'd like. Sometimes we've done that for vegetarians. And I went, you know what? Screw it. I'll do it. I'll get a chips and cheese wrap kebabby thingy. Well, it's not really a kebab, but a wrap. And then I get this thing, I take it back home, I unwrap it. I take one, it's this big, it's literally larger than my face. And I was like, well, not so much of a long face, I guess. It's huge! And then I take a bite out of this thing. I still have some because I could only eat half of it. And I'm like, chips and cheese, delicious. And I'll take another bite. Chips and cheese. Fries, I should say, for the Americans. Delicious. And then I take another bite. I'm like, there's literally only chips and cheese in here. There's not a single other ingredient. It was literally, I paid £6 for a wrap that just had fries and melted cheese in it, and it was so delicious, I tell you what. Oh boy, I felt so gross, but it was tasty as heck. Oh my goodness. That was like, I thought, because he said the salad thing earlier, I thought there would be at least some greens in there. Anything. Maybe an onion? I don't know. But nope. Literally just chips and cheese. Oh, I can't wait to eat it again. It was so good. That was so good. Okay. Anyway, that's my little kebab. That is the pet hate of mine that the English do. They add an unnecessary question at the end of their sentences, not just in it, but things like, we went to the beach today, didn't we? Oh, we went to the beach today, didn't we? I've never really noticed it, but I'll keep an eye out for it. Like, is that a question you're supposed to be telling me? So why ask me? It's like, well, did we? Maybe I'm misremembering. I will have to watch more EastEnders, y'all. All the drama happened because I chose to change name during, so just tired and exhausted and down to 5, and be told what to do by 9 folks specifically. I'm surprised that. Oh yeah, the cheeseburger pizza. Wait. Oh yeah. It only burns a little and you wear it infrequently as a reference to your old ass makeup, and its likelihood is growing spores, making you some Last of Us patient zero. That's not how it works. That is not how it works whatsoever. Because the foundation is fine, and you are talking about my makeup without reference to the fact that I have had many years of having the same issue no matter whose makeup I am wearing. I was in the modeling and acting industry where I had plenty of people putting plenty of different makeups on me, and so it's not just one person who hasn't disinfected their brushes correctly. It's always the eye makeup, and that I can show you photos of makeup that I didn't do myself, and I can tell you how much I hated that makeup. Foundation is fine. My skin here, fine. I don't complain about these things. It's always the eyes. And so therefore, what is the consistency? It is not my old ass makeup. It's my eyeballs. Or rather, my eyelids. So no, it's not growing spores. And I am no Last of Us patient zero for the makeup reason. That's a whole nother thing. It's just makeup in general, okay? Anyway, now I've gotten that out of the way. Yeah, melty cheese fries, so delish, so delish. If anyone wants to let me know, please anyone make my decisions for me. I think you should get a cheeseburger, if that helped. In an angry, arguing tone, we went to the we went to the beach, didn't we? Hi, Hugh, hello! Your eyelids are weak. Yeah, I need to do eyelid exercises. Too much makeup on the cheeks? Not so much. Hi, Hugh! You just missed my rant about how I don't like wearing makeup on my eyelids because it makes me want to claw them off. So now we're doing eyelid exercises. Does that mean I need to blink more? Or maybe I can like hang something off my eyelashes at like little wigs. You know, like those little crystal gems that people put in their eyelashes. Maybe that will strengthen them. Yeah, it's understandable, obviously. How was your stream? It looks like you were playing Mass Effect according to my robot, so I hope that you had a wonderful time. We used to make the dirtiest burrito for breakfast at the Mexican joint. Guac, salsa, pulled pork fries, chili con queso, black beans, and some crispy shallots. That actually sounds so good. That sounds really good. What's the thing you missed about South Africa, and do you want to go back? I would love to go back to South Africa. Yes, I really enjoyed my time. I think that something that I enjoyed was how inexpensive going out to eat was. I have been trying to cook a lot more since being here. Even my coffees, I'm like, actually coffee wasn't as cheap in South Africa, but anything that you'd buy with a coffee was, or going to dinner, or going for a wine tasting, and you know, that's one of the benefits of a developing, can I say that? Yeah, nation. When you come from a country that has a stronger dollar, your dollar goes very far, and so you feel like you're living like a king. And also the food was so tasty. Yes, I just went to South Africa just in February, actually. So it was really beautiful. So I went to Cape Town and the Western Cape, and it's gorgeous and warm and just mountains everywhere, and I was just a happy girl. And so so I would definitely be happy to go back. I'd like to see the people down there as well. And then what else was the question? Well, you asked about things that I missed about it, but things that I missed, as in things I didn't see, I would like to go and try and check out some animals, because I didn't go on any of those safari tours. Those are more of a touristy thing. I'd like to go to areas where you see wild animals rather than and so they say safari tours are wild animals, but they're kind of manicured so that tourists do get to see a photo, or do get to take their photo of a big animal. And so I think it would be much more special, I suppose, to not know if you will see something or not. For it to literally, an elephant just to wander by because that's its route for the day rather than that's its manufactured route. Managed, yeah. So I liken it to the Werribee Open Range Zoo that is in Melbourne, Australia, to a larger extent. But there are definitely areas where there are people. So Kif, who's my friend, that was on stream, their dad had gone to Johannesburg on the east coast around the same time that I was there, and they sent a photo, and where their accommodation, as in Kif's dad, that at the accommodation there was just an elephant that had just wandered over. It was behind a fence, but what? Isn't that incredible? And so then every day they might wake up to see something different. Maybe there'll be some wildebeest. Maybe there'll be probably not the large jungle cats, well, not jungle cats, but because the lion does not sleep in the jungle, and I think that would be really cool. So maybe, but apparently to see that kind of stuff, you have to be more north and closer to the borders of other African countries, whereas I was very, very south of South Africa. And I didn't see no Shubas, exactly. Yes, and see flora and fauna again, exactly right. Oh, such beautiful people. Never been to Mexico. That could be fun as well. And thank you for the follow as well. You mean the song Lied to Me? I'm sorry you had to find out this way. When I was in Mexico or Costa Rica, that's how I felt. Everything was less pricey to eat at the food stores. Yeah, and so that's how people used to feel. Yeah, it's true for Simba. That's how people used to feel about Thailand. It's like, oh, Thailand, such a cheap holiday destination. But I think that nowadays, because it has become so well known as a tourist hotspot, that the economy, I would have to look at the actual dollar, but I think that especially in the touristy areas, you pay tourist tax, so it's not as cheap as it once was. Anywho, never been to Mexico either. Let's go. And there are so many places that would have lower prices because people just don't know about them, and I think that as they gain popularity, then it gets stronger and stronger. So for example, even where I was in South Africa, if you don't leave Cape Town, like, it's still cheaper than what you might see in UK, Australia, New Zealand, I assume Europe as well. In fact, definitely Europe as well. But even just an hour outside of Cape Town, it was way cheaper again. And so that shows the tourist tax. And you don't have to go to tourist areas. However, if you're not familiar with a place, you don't know, like, where to go. And so that's why touristy areas exist, because they are, must-see locations, or they are good food, good eat, easy access, and so that's why tourist areas exist, to serve that purpose. And they can still be great, but that is why it's also awesome if you have a local. And when I was in South Africa, I had several who were able to show me the good stuff. Seeing moose and caribou daily, depending on what part of the state I'm in, is still amazing. I've seen, it wasn't a caribou, oh, the name is escaping me. A white-tailed deer? It was some sort of deer. I've seen elk in Canada, but I find that still very fascinating. But the same way that people would be so lucky to see kangaroos if they're visiting Australia. But to an Australian, it's like, bruh, I can see kangaroo in my supermarket. Like, they are very, very common. And so the whole, like, a kangaroo in your backyard is definitely something that people have experienced in their lifetime. And it's just normal in Australia. Whereas deer, elk, caribou, like that's all normal in other parts of the world. Maybe boba. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so. I think that we have some sort of European deer. And so it's I think it would still be special to see something that large though. Moose and caribou, they're so big. Anyway, we're about to hit an ad break. I'm just going to catch up with more messages. We'll still be here on the other side. Jetstar having cheap flights to more locations is allowing the bogan to spread. Even Tokyo is getting annoyed with drunk Aussies thinking they're in Bali. Well, you're seeing that with a lot of... You know what? I learnt very, very brief history about how Japan, for a long time, they didn't allow immigration or migration. So they basically just locked their country. No one was allowed in or out. And then that eventually dissipated. But I think I've spoken about it very, very briefly on streams in the past. I think that allowed for over 100 years of just having their own culture practiced rather than international influence. And I think that's what we're seeing in the 2000s, the 21st century today, is this spillover effect of the fact that they kept their culture just their culture. At the time, it would have been very oppressive, especially in a world where exploration was really, really ramping up. And so I think that I actually, maybe this is unfounded, and I don't mean this in a blasphemous way. I mean this just in a modern comparison. It actually reminded me of North Korea a lot, of just no one's allowed in or out. It is this is our way of life. This is how things should be done. And trying to not have that any influence other than their way. However, I think there's a lot of different things going on in North Korea, but I would have to research the Japanese, the Shogun Gates more. Shogates, yeah. And so I do wonder if, not in our lifetime, but I do wonder if in 100, 200 years, how North Korea will look, because of seeing how Japan now looks after this cordoned off section of history. But my point is that it is such a beautiful country from everything I've heard, and such a very... it has such a soft and respectful culture of the earth and of one another. And so having tourism and having people who are really kind of being dickheads, let's be real, and especially with the content creators who are going over and filming it all, I think that it is really sad to see people who are not taking the time to respect those cultures and customs. And hopefully people will, be able to be called out more on the bad behavior so that it is not repeated constantly. And now to my actual point. My actual point is that these kinds of disrespect does make me understand why they're like, no tourists. So if Japan ever drops a no tourist on their country again, then I you know what? I'll say it. I wouldn't be surprised. There are a lot of Westerners going over and being very, very disrespectful. But I can't imagine that happening because of all of the other things that are going on with Japan, with the low birth rates and whatnot. I think that immigration, it sounds like, is something they're really pushing for to help with their aging population, etc., etc. But that's all surface level knowledge that I have. Anywho, keeping the roots off the veggies is more pressing for many Aussies than enjoying them. Yeah, exactly. Bear in our backyard even happens, Tracker. That is incredible. Oh, that's the thing. People are always like, oh my god, Australia is so dangerous. All of the spiders and the snakes. And I'm like, bro, you literally get beers. Aussies get beers in their backyard as well. Bears in the backyard is the word I was trying to say. Hello, Raiders. welcome on in, Sandflies. Oh my god. Wait, are you in New Zealand at the moment? Because if you're in New Zealand, that's going to be hilarious. Sandflies, I'm finally on the same country as you. Country? Yeah, I won't say that. I feel like that's too contested with the English and the Scottish. Hi guys, please go check out Sandflies. They're super wonderful. I'm hoping that one day I will actually be able to see them. New Zealand in a couple of weeks. Okay, let me know when you're back, because I am planning to come up north, because I have another friend who lives up where you are, and I was thinking that I could come see you both. But go enjoy your time in New Zealand. I'm glad that you've been able to get back so much. That's so wonderful. The fact that you're just going to and fro as frequently as you are is just gorgeous. So I'm glad. But let me know when you're back. Oh, you was playing the Oregon Trail. Wait, what? That would have been fun. I've been wanting to play the Oregon Trail for a long time. I think it would be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed yourself and didn't die of dysentery too many times. But welcome on in, Sandflies. If you guys are not familiar with me, my name is Clementine, and I just moved to the UK. But I am very far down south. For your reference, I am in Southampton, actually, all the way the opposite end of the Sandflies base of operation. But I'm here. I will be here indefinitely. I only got here 2 weeks ago, and so I am still building my setup. I am actually on my laptop at the moment, but I'm hoping that I can get my PC up for next stream. But I said that about this stream, so time will tell. Chat also wants Clem to play Oregon Trail, exactly. Oh yes, let me know what version you played, because then I can try and organize it myself. But it's good to have you guys here. If you guys need a raid and fade, then do so. We've just been mucking around, just chatting, hanging about. I realized how blind I am earlier, so I really should put my glasses on again, but then I keep on being reminded of how blind I am, so I can just stay ignorant if I keep them off. And we are talking today about culture, I suppose. So I'm just catching up with some of the messages. Welcome on in. Stupid kangaroos try to bounce into the side of my car. Idiots. Freaking idiots. It could be the 10th century fake history. You might be right. New Zealand hosts the wild populations. Oh, it is white-tailed deer. There we go. In the southern hemisphere, established from a 1904 gift by Teddy himself. Oh my gosh. Theodore Roosevelt. These herds are located on Stewart Island, or Rakiura, and near Lake Wakatsipu. Yeah, so I've seen even the farms. What's very funny about New Zealand, so deers are not endemic to New Zealand. They, well, apparently Theodore Roosevelt brought them over. But they are farmed and hunted. So people do like to hunt deer and boar in New Zealand. But the deer eating is very common in, what's it called? Venison. Venison is very common in New Zealand cuisine. So even if you go to a pub or a restaurant, venison and lamb are big on that menu. And so much so that New Zealanders actually farm deer. The same way that you have cattle farms, they have deer farms. And I just thought that was a normal thing. But apparently you guys in like North America and Europe, they just roam around. I thought that you'd have deer farms as well, but I guess you don't need to if they're just hanging about. Anywho, Japan are trialling no passport tourism from New South Wales along with very cheap flights. They're intentionally setting up to be the Bali for East Coast of Australia. They may well regret it soon enough. Well, we'll find out. It is interesting to see how it all works, but give it time. Hi, Cookie. Now Japan have a declining and aging population, so much so that you can buy a nice property house in Tsushima for like 80k American dollars. Wow. Oh my goodness. The gifting of the deer to New Zealand from Teddy Roosevelt. It is pretty, like, it's kind of crazy to think that that kind of trade was happening. I guess the world wasn't so backwards even 100 years ago in some ways. Hope nobody important died over in Hugh's stream. Yeah, fingers crossed, hey Cookie. Yeah, glad you could hang out. That's a good way of putting it, Hugh.
Much more respect needed in those areas. Like some areas were very welcoming to tourists before certain events. Barcelona is very anti-tourist at the moment, really, due to house prices skyrocketing because foreign companies are buying them for Airbnb. Damn, all right. We should just gang together in this in the southern hemisphere. I like it. I like this idea. North Korea has seafood processing plants. People eating squid are supporting the regime. People eat it. What? I don't understand how that correlates. Like, what's wrong with eating squid? Have you ever had a squid ring? Look, I know that there is a lot of issues with the regime, none of which we're going to bother joking about here because that's not what I do, but I'm not understanding the correlation with the, with this, putting it on squids. People eat squid in America, you know? Bears aren't scary. If they were so dangerous, they wouldn't be so friend-shaped. Yeah, like, you know, Teddy. Okay. Trail much needed. Yes, please. Trail daddy. Maybe that can be the first game I play when I'm on the PC. When you first showed you had an exposed brick wall, I was going to ask if you were going to stand in front of it and tell jokes. I am the joke. Thank you very much. Hello, Skywise. My dad told me venison was quite dear to him once. Oh, but the problem was that it was so dear, you know? Maybe not. Our deer probably tastes better than that farm deer. Yeah, well, that's what they say, right? Get that, you gotta go hunt it for yourself. And it tastes better, like fish. I know Australia has foxes and other animals that were introduced because people wanted to hunt them. Yes, so foxes they luckily didn't make it to New Zealand, but foxes indeed were introduced purely for sport. And then they've absolutely decimated a lot of native wildlife. There's actually a cute movie that talks about a very, like, it's what do they call it? It's based on true events, where there was this, was it a Labrador or a Golden Retriever? I think it was actually neither of those, but it looked like one of these dogs. That basically became a guardian of the little penguin colony down in the south parts of Melbourne, and it's very I haven't actually seen the movie, but the story is very, very sweet. And so this dog is basically protecting the penguins from the foxes because it's such easy pickings for the foxes, and then guard dog's like, piss off. That's exactly how the dog said it as well. Maybe you can play Oregon Trail when you get your PC. I think so as well, because then I don't have to worry about connecting the Switch or the PlayStation, because it would just be on a browser, I would assume. Or maybe even on Steam. Anyway, I'll look it up. I can always ask Aldius if need be. My mate asked me to go set up a camera trap with him in the Kaimais. Shit's getting pretty expensive. Might have to take him up on it for a freezer of venison. I think so, because that will last you for ages as well. And maybe it will get you back into cooking as on top of that, Bobo, if you just have to keep on finding new ways to eat this venison. I live at least 25 hours from the nearest ocean. That is ridiculous. I can, oh wow. As someone who has always grown up near the ocean, and the ocean being like such an integral part of my culture, that is ridiculous. I cannot even imagine having to drive a whole day just to get to the ocean. But I can understand the mistrustful squids in that case. Clem draws the line at North Korea only having like 10 haircuts to pick from. That's far too many choices. Yeah, that's why I just don't cut my hair. Oh, goodness. Bear in the Big Blue House is just a squatter. I love it. We get enough Clem trails here as it is. Good one, good one. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know, it's the only dog movie, it's the only Aussie dog movie I know. No, it's not Red Dog, it's, I'll look it up, and I'll tell you. I heard Clem's a big supporter of the camel population in Australia. Isn't it crazy that there are that many camels in Aussie? Okay. I've never tried squid, but I never noticed much difference with meat. Well, I think that seafoods do taste quite different to like mammals, but squid rings are totally a thing. I mean I've even had cuttlefish before. just stick to this setup, back to the basics. No one needs loads of equipment on screen overlays. That's the thing, is I actually been really enjoying streaming off my laptop. I think it was a really nice reminder of how the equipment doesn't make the stream in a way. It's been very inspiring to go to think about how that can look for portability. But the PC is less so about having all of the equipment and more so I would like to play games again. I am still a gamer. I know I don't seem like a gamer, but I do still like playing games, okay? And so the PC is more about that rather than about having the setup. Dog, penguin, Melbourne. That should be enough. Oddball. The movie was called Oddball. Okay, you might have to look up Oddball movie. 2015. Look at this! How cute is this? So this is not a Labrador or a Golden Retriever. I'll look at what it is. So cute! So cute. So that is the movie I was thinking of. And that is based on a true story. What is the dog breed? Give me that. Give me that plot. This was off Warrnambool, actually. Okay. Foxes have learned how to swim to the island, reducing the population of the penguins. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, that's no good. Okay, I just want to see what type of dog they are. I'm sure that I could just look that up. Oddball movie dog breed. There we go. It is a Maremma sheepdog? Maremma. I don't know that one. I've never heard of that one. Maremma. Maremma. Oh, maybe Italian? So that is a region in Italy. And so I guess the sheepdogs must have come from there, just like a German shepherd. This is a Maremma sheepdog. Anywho, I'm 25 minutes, 15 if I'm on my motorbike away from the ocean. I'm 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. That it does look like an ocean. I will give you that, but it does not count. Hamilton is nowhere near the ocean. No, I'm not talking about Raglan. I'm talking about my ancestry, okay? I'm talking about my, like, Bay of Plenty, alright? That's where we would always go. And that's like 90 minutes. Okay, squid is delicious. Just making sure you're doing sustainable harvesting. And that's the same with seafood in general. Thanks for the lurk, Hugh. Thanks for the raid as well. And being amazing. You're the heckin' cutie. Squid rings used to be super cheap, but now squid are heading the way of the lobster. I cheat by catching my own. Very nice. It is based on the true story of Alan Swampy Marsh, chicken farmer. There we go. So there we go. They taught Oddball to protect a little penguin colony. Isn't that cute? What's the issue with the PC? Why isn't it set up? Because I'm slow. Maybe play like Tetris on it. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. So my PC was here, but I needed to get a UK plug for to be able to plug it in. So that was on the way, and that arrived a few days ago. And then I have an old TV that I'm using as a monitor, and it's fine. But yesterday I went to try and get everything ready, and it was just update after update. I was cycling over and over again. I tried to get stuff working, and it's not that it was difficult. It's just that I went, I'll worry about it later. So after stream today, I will work on this a little bit more to figure out why my camera wasn't connecting, for example, and make sure my microphone's working. And so, like, my PC is here with the messy attic in the background. But it just doesn't have all of the other bells and whistles like a camera connected. That is what's going on there. But I don't think it will take me too long now. Although, what is this? Another restart required! Of course it is. So I've just been letting it do its thing because it hasn't been turned on for 5 months. And so it's just waking up. It's just getting all of the things happening. The idea that the foxes are learning is funny to me. I gotta head off to grab the pizzas! You made a choice. That's great. Yes. Thank you for the raid as well, Devil. I also have a story about that island, but it might be too dark for this stream. Yeah, I don't want to know. You can tell it on your stream, maybe. The TV might be old. No, it's a 1080! And it's not a Sony, it's a Bush! It's 1080 at 60 FPS, but it is LCD, and also it looks like trash. Hola, money! Hola! Yeah, it's a Bush, exactly. So you know why I'm so excited now. Do you want to ask what is the most thing you miss about Australia? Coffee! I feel like the coffee is the easy answer because I lived in Melbourne. What else do I miss in Australia? The people, of course. I do miss my friends. The thing is, it's really difficult for me to be able to answer that because I was so ready to leave the country. And I think that Australia is beautiful. I loved living in Melbourne, but I was ready to leave. And so I've been traveling and I've only moved and only been here for not even 3 weeks. And so it's really hard for me to go, oh, well, UK doesn't have this because the culture is so bloody similar, so I'm not missing out so much there. I mean, the animals are pretty great, don't get me wrong, but I was ready to leave. So I think it's really hard for me to think about things that I miss from Australia because I'm just not there yet, and I don't know if I ever will get there. The things that I will go back to Australia for are traveling to areas that I hadn't been. So for example, I'd still like to go to Perth. I've spoken about this many times. I've never been there and I would love to. I'd like to go to Adelaide. I'd like to go back to Tasmania. I'd like to go see my friends. And so I'd like to go as a tourist again, but in terms of living, I was ready to go. I didn't have so many things keeping me there, and that's why I left after all. But Melbourne does make a fine cup of coffee, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I'd like to see Uluru as well. Yeah. Did you check that there's no silly picture smoothing stuff turned on? So I tried to look at the buttons and there are not really any settings that I can mess around with. And so I did start to look at it while the PC was doing the cycling. I was trying to look at the settings and I was like, I don't even know how to change any of these settings. That's what I'm working with. But I figured I'd wait for the PC and then work on it there. Can you start the new stream with the TV and title it "Bush is back in office, baby"? Maybe I could do it with like an Instagram story in that case, because then I can have the photo. But I guess you're not really American either. Anyway, I want yes, the Radelaide mansion, that's the one. This person knows what they're talking about. I'd love to go to Radelaide. I hear it's very cool, and I was trying to plan to make it over there in my last few weeks of Australia, but it was too hectic. It was too hectic and busy, and I still love Australia. I really do. And I don't want people to think me not missing anything means that I hated it or that I don't like things. It's just really difficult for me to think of the things I missed when I'm not dwelling, I'm looking forward. I want to go back home. Oh, that's very sweet. It is the serial killer capital of Australia, the only place in the world where iced coffee outsells Coke. That's badass. But yeah, I definitely will go back. I think that it's such a beautiful country and the people are great, but where are you? Not in Adelaide, and that's what's upsetting. And so perhaps after after I've kind of found my rhythm and routine here, maybe that's when I go, oh, like it sucks that I don't have this easily accessible, or I don't have that, or et cetera, et cetera. But I also recognize that one of the reasons I moved here is because of what is accessible and why I'm here. So, for example, next weekend, I'm gonna be on a plane. I'm gonna be on my way to Croatia. So that's the kind of stuff that I wanted to move to Europe for, is to be able to explore other European countries. And so that's what the UK has allowed. Whereas Australia, it costs thousands of dollars to get to Europe and tens and tens of hours of travel. Whereas this flight's gonna take me like not even 2 hours. It's gonna be awesome. And then I'm gonna go to Slovenia, and I'm gonna cross the border to Italy and Austria just because I can. I'm gonna practice some German. And then I'm just gonna come back here and chill and it be super relaxed. And that accessibility to other countries and cultures is very exciting, and that's what I'm looking forward to for the next indefinite period. I don't know if I'll be here forever. Maybe I'll go back to Australia after it all. Maybe who knows, maybe I'll just take myself back to South Africa, and I'll be eating good every single day. But we'll find out in the future. Buy an optic for my gun. Har har. I wonder how easy it would be. I don't know what the gun laws are in a lot of the European countries. Anywho, you need time to miss it. That's exactly it, Tracker. I think it has been so recent that I've actually arrived in the UK, because although I've not been in Australia for many months, I wasn't thinking about Australia because I was living out of a suitcase. I was back at home with my parents, and I was indulging in family activity. And then I went to South Africa, and now I'm just like having all of these new experiences that are focusing on the present rather than having that time to consider the past. And so now I've just, like, the last few weeks have been looking at setting things up and going, oh, I need to order this. Okay, I need to order this. I need to organize these things. I need to figure out how to feed myself. Like, where are things located in the supermarket? What is my routine in these regards? And so I'm still doing a lot of, I'm experiencing a lot of new things, and it's making me not think about my previous living experience. In some ways, I'm sure that others could have some anxiety over the unfamiliarity, but for me, it's just like, yeah, well, it's culturally somewhat identical, so I don't have to worry about that. It's just where things are rather than how things operate. And then I think because I'm going overseas next week, I've been planning that. So maybe when I come back from that trip and then we have everything quote unquote normal, where like now I know my local supermarket and how things work there, I know and where to find things. Now my PC is up and running. Now I've got all of the things that I need for my bedroom. Like, once that's all sorted, I think that's when I'll go, okay, it's not really that different from being in Australia. So what is it that I miss if it is now the same in and out of routine? Like, what am I now experiencing? Obviously, I can foresee the travel that I will be indulging in while here, but what are the things that I'm missing from back in Australia? And I won't know until that doldrum kind of sets in, I think. That's how I look at it. Hi, Lily! As long as you're streaming your camera working, yeah, exactly, it'll be fine. You have proper service. I'm glad. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Use the trains, no need to fly even. Isn't that crazy? So my Croatia trip, I will be flying to that one because it is on the other side. But for something like France, obviously, that's the big one, that I wouldn't necessarily have to take a flight. But I hear that it is cheaper to take a flight because there are so many services going in and out, and so there's a lot of supplies so they can keep it nice and cheap. And then I'm getting a car when in Croatia so that we can just drive around, my friend and I, with our autonomy, which will be nice. I heard you can get flights out of New Zealand, but yeah, it's expensive. It's very expensive. Canberra has the best brothels. Nice. Go live with Alison, hopefully one day. I went from Berlin to Barcelona by train. It's so cool, isn't it? 30 hours in a night train. That would be great, though. I've always wanted to do a long train trip with a great view myself. Hi, Mo. You're starting again, essentially. Exactly. You've done a lot in 3 weeks. Thank you. I actually really do appreciate that. You get to do all the traveling you wanted. They're super proud. Thank you. And also, I'm stinky. This is also true. That's why I'm wearing the beanie, so you guys can't make fun of my greasy, unwashed hair. No, but genuinely, I think that there have been a few things where I'm like, oh, like, I should be getting onto this faster. And then I look back and I'm like, why? Why do I? Like, there's no rush. You know, this is working. This is about to work. I've been really, I said this last stream, I've just been feeling very relaxed in a way that I haven't had in a long time, and it's really nice. And I'm sorry if that means I'm rubbing it in compared to whatever's going in some of your guys' lives, but I'm gonna celebrate my success. I think it's more just that recognition that I made a change that is beneficial for me. So if you guys are struggling, don't know what changes can help, but hopefully you can try and find them. So wise, so freaking wise. What can I say? Europe is so close. Exactly. When I started planning my trip for later this year, I was thinking that Brussels was as far from Paris as Melbourne. It's from Sydney. So I was planning multi-day legs, but it's like only 2 hours, such a shorter time than driving into the city in peak hour traffic. I know, right? It's so good. Any word from the barista? Yes, I will get back to that in a second. Some say it takes 6 months to get used to where the bread aisle is in some countries. I believe that. That's how I feel when even my local supermarket changes things around. Hi, Uncog. So I think, yeah, it will take me a while. How's your mental? Yeah, I've been doing pretty well. I think there have been some things that have been affecting me, and I haven't really been able to figure out why. But I don't just feel like constantly stressed. And you know what? We take those wins. Missing familiarity? I don't think so, Cookie. Like, I think that's a good one to ask if that's something that I'm missing. But I think that I am actually... Perhaps I'm disappointed at how familiar things are. Like I said, there's not really a culture shock between Australia, New Zealand, and UK. And so in a lot of ways that helps me slot in very easily. But I think I kind of want a few newer synapses sparking off, and that's what the travel will be for. So I'm just comfortable. I'm comfortable. When you're stretched and put your hands behind your head, I generally thought you were wearing a Starbucks apron. Yes, there we go. Add that to the count. 20 gifted for a backflip? I mean, sure. I mean, I gotta make sure I don't hit my head is all. One moment. I will just read these things. It's like there's a vacation where you have to get everything done in a short period of time. Exactly! I don't have to rush anything. I don't have to rush. Other than this backflip. Okay, you ready? Make sure I don't hit my head. Okay. I think my feet will hit the ceiling if I do that. I feel so inspired. Gonna make a change to quit my job. You gotta do. For some reason I'm picturing the plane touching down, Clem's getting off it. Time to visit the big Tesco! Woo! Okay. You can see all my rubbish down here. We'll take this one off. Look, this might not be what you're expecting, but we're doing what we can. What? You didn't. There goes the stream. We didn't quit, did we? We're still here, aren't we? Don't say these things. Love those pants. Thank you. Okay, you ready? I've done this before. Just walk up the door and backflip over. No, I'm gonna... What happened? just did the backflip, that's why. It went iffy, it's because I did the backflip. You know? That's what happened. So, yeah, they're dungarees, as they call them in the UK. I don't know what happened, but we're here. Have we entered the gymnastics part? Well, I mean, if the frames hadn't dropped, yeah, I think it was just the moving of the laptop as well, and this or whatever. I don't know. I should probably not test it if that's what it did. Yeah, it struggled with how fast I'm moving. I just did it. I would have stacked it. I know. Yoga time. Look, there's being a female on the internet. It can be a little bit tough to do certain things, but there is, I think, one thing that we can do, and that is a forward fold specifically facing, yeah, exactly, that's why I giggled, specifically facing this way. So I think this is allowed. Actually, it wouldn't be if I had tits, fuck! Why is my life misery? Why did I just absolutely realize, yeah, why did I have my own self burn? I was like, look guys, this is a forward fold, where, because I was like, I can't like go this way, and I can't, well, some people would go that way. So I was like, this way's fine, and then it's because, you know, sometimes life is cruel. They're only flat because you're not wearing the glasses. Yeah, exactly. Once I put my glasses on, they'll be popping out something fierce. I did follow a streamer who would do a forward roll on the bed behind her whenever she got a hype train. That's nice. Ah, yeah, maybe I covered up the Wi-Fi. That's a good point. Or like because I kind of dragged it like that. That's a good point, Schmick. I believe it. I wouldn't be able to do a forward fold, that's it. Anyway, you know what? We're down here. I've done this on in my old room. This is gonna go terribly, but you know, when 20 gifted are on the line, it's called a gamble. And you know what? We like a little gamble. My beanie! Ta-da! Yay! And you know what? If at least we tried. That's all I have to say. Thank you. I think that I broke or fractured one of my vertebrae, but you know, we tried. That was a back roll, yeah, but maybe we'll get like half. It was backwards. It was a flip in some people's terminology, and maybe it won't get us 20 gifted subs, but maybe it will get us 1. And that's a gamble I'm willing to take, you know? That can buy me a whole John Smith's. So I may as well, you know, try. At least try. POV, you're an Elden Ring boss fight and tarnished, exactly right. Yeah. You'll be seen for that fracture in maybe 3 years. Yeah! See, you know, that could buy us maybe a chocolate bar. Gambling without flexibility. Yeah, that was a good point. I was impressed. Yes. Temu backflip. Look, I'm sorry that my backflips are just different terminology, okay? That's just what I call them. I don't actually call them that. I also call them a backwards roll, but I'm just trying. Woo! Let's go! Can I join in? Yes, please! Yahoo! That's like 2 chocolate bars now. Lucky me! Anyway, I bet that they didn't even stick around long enough to see it. Yeah! Let's go! See, I told you! It's worth the gamble! It's worth the gamble! Thank you, thank you! They said you couldn't make money with gymnastics these days, so well, that's usually the reason why you can't make money with gymnastics is because you're usually paying more than what you get back. Because consider, if you will, you go in a gymnastics club. That takes money. Now you do this over the course of many years. Now you take the private classes. Now, it's just, that's why you don't make money, because you're spending too much. And they say spend money to make money, not in gymnastics. Don't do it. The awesome backflip. Thank you. And thank you for the hype. I shan't be doing another one, because I might genuinely break my bake my brack. The docs are creepos. It's a whole thing. The camera's mirrored, so it's a front flip. Fuck. Unless you're doing vertical pole gymnastics, then you make a lot of money. Exactly right. Yes, I've streamlined the experience. Yeah, we've cut out all of the middle stuff. Thank you guys for indulging. Clearly the person who mentioned it was not impressed, or they just didn't stick around long enough. There is actually legitimately, well, I don't know who they are, because I have been told this through another source, that there is someone who actually can do backflips. They must have been an ex-gymnast or cheerleader. And so when someone does try to say this, they literally do a backflip. I'm like, that would be so cool! A pie!
Maybe enough for a cinnamon roll, or at least a slice of pie?
A pie? Brian knew exactly how to do that delivery. Maybe a slice of pie? Thank you so much! Thank you! Look at you guys, all of these gifted subs. Much appreciated. What can I say? It was worth the gamble, that's all. I like to call it a roly-poly. When I think of roly-poly, I think of a forward roll rather than a backwards one. But I can accept it. Wouldn't want you to brack your beak, exactly. Instead of falling down pits on Banjo, you could roll backwards and forwards on the floor. You don't need to update the PC. Exactly. Who needs it? Who needs video games when I'm having fun because I'm getting delirious from all the blood rushing to my head? Woo! You know, I could probably do a handstand. I do wear dungarees, so I wouldn't have to worry about any of my skirts flying up. Brian's so sassy. That's why we love him. So Lexington said, I can do a flip after a few beers. Well, I like to think I can. I've not done one for 10 years. I'm sure that you could, but you could do one. I'm getting those 20 subs either way. Yeah, we just need the 20 subs like trickled out over time. But seriously, guys, I do really appreciate it. It's very kind to make up for this other guy. And like I said, you know, you get the offer. I might not be able to do a full backflip, but you know, we try and be creative, and sometimes we're rewarded for our creativity. Here's another idea that we could roll with. Okay. Roll. Ha! That one wasn't even intentional. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Are you ready? One moment.
Do a handstand for our 1-year anniversary. Clem smile.
You know what? I'll do it. I'm feeling a little bit silly. I'll do it. We'll go this way. We'll do it. We'll regret it, but we'll do it. We will regret this. I'm feeling feisty. Wait, I don't know. We don't really have a wide angle. You're probably not gonna see my face. Hydrate bonk. Oh yeah, my bottle's literally right there. So we're doing it this way because I think that's the ability to make the least issue. Do you even fit in there when upside down? Oh, that's a good point. I can put you guys here with all the rubbish. Okay, all right. That's better. Okay. I'm gonna regret this. No, I think it'll be okay. You guys better be happy about this. I've not done this in like 20 years, so we'll find out. Okay. Just do it. 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 If I break the door, you're gonna have to actually gift me some subs so I can repair it. Okay. I'm psyching myself up. Okay. Ah! Not quite. Hold on. Hold on. We can do better. We can do better. We can do better. Let's move this. I got nervous. Okay. Right there. Hiya! Woo! Okay. And then we just gonna go up the door a little bit. Oh, no. I did not have the arm strength for that. I did not have the arm strength to go off the door, but can I reach out upside down? Definitely not.
Meanwhile in Australia.
Yeah, we actually never left, guys. I was just trying to get back to my Aussie roots. The things I miss, the blood rushing to my head. Yay! Well, we didn't break the door at least. Not bad. Why am I so tired? I think it was because of all the attempt at hyping myself up. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Very kind, very kind. With all the rubbish, exactly right. That's where you guys go. Thank you, everyone, for the hype.
Now your face matches your hair.
Yes, exactly. That's what I miss. I just miss all of the blood up in the places it should be, because I'm not hanging upside down anymore like I had to in Australia. Can you sign a waiver so I don't take responsibility if you hurt yourself? Nah. Oh, the scary door is a good one for it. This scary door. I like it. I like it. I'm happy with the scary door, because that is a Futurama reference. It's like watching a garden gnome in the wild. Wow. Choo-choo. Hi, Amber. Well, you know, I'll let you know how I am tomorrow, because I feel like I pulled a muscle in my shoulder. Oh, how silly. How very silly. Anyway, much appreciated, guys. Let's finish. Okay, all right. Actually, probably will wrap up soon, so you want to be back on the ground, then we can do so while we have the portability. And this. And this. Oh, look how cute. We're down here now. Oh, goodness. How fun. You want uppies? Yeah, you've been up this whole time. We're down here now. Downies. I forgot about your shoulder. I forgot about it too until I was upside down. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, off to the physio. Yeah. It's just been nice. This is another reason why I've been really enjoying the laptop. It's just like, yeah, we'll just change. Of course, Devil. Back on the floor, and back with our little guy. Very nice indeed. Hoo-wee! I forgot what I was actually going to say. Back roll, roly-poly, handstand. There was something else I was going to do, and then... Oh, that's right! No, I actually genuinely am okay. I'm just complaining for the sake of complaining. Well, I feel like we've had too much excitement, so this is going to be anticlimactic, but this is what I was going to do before the handstand shenanigans. Next time we're asked to do a flip. Woo! I guess it's not really backwards though. It's more like a barrel. No, not a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll. What was the what is it? This is high tech. Sorry. I really just sprung that on you, eh? I really just went for it and then didn't leave you guys an opportunity to process that. Yeah, but it's not a barrel roll. It's an aileron. That's the one. Barrel roll, I call them torpedo rolls. Star Fox. Should I just turn the stream upside down? This is what it's like now that we aren't in Oz. Exactly. And I don't even know if I'm saying this correct. Aileron. Because I know we mentioned this word earlier and I said it with gusto, but I'm not sure. She hit us with the Booker T. I don't know that one. Turn your head to make it a backflip. Oh, like this? Anyway, there's thing. A kiwi! Exactly! This is Manu. Manu's just been watching over me. Whoa! I accidentally must have clicked something. This is telling me that footage of Justin Timberlake's drink driving arrest released by the police. Well, I know what I'm watching when I end stream. I would have watched it with you guys, but I don't have the technology yet. You know what I could do is I could probably connect the monitor to the laptop. We just become a laptop streamer. It's not that bad. I will be watching it, I'll tell you that much. A kiwi with a kiwi, exactly. I know the roll they do in Starbucks isn't a barrel roll, but yes, so that's why I was asking Giraffe, is because I too knew that it wasn't a barrel roll, but I don't know what a barrel roll is, but apparently, according to our chatters, it is an aileron roll instead of a barrel roll. It's part of the, here we go. So aileron is part of the wing, and an aileron roll is, it is different to a barrel roll. There we go. Both Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake got a DUI, I know, right? I was like, oh, it really is like we're back, even in the 90s, you know? Well, I hope that they're okay. He really did bring sexy back. Well, I would argue he didn't, because drink driving, not sexy. I know, hot take Clem out here, but drink driving, that's a big red flag. That's a bit of a turn off, actually. So there ain't no sexy back with that JT for this gal, okay? When they ask for the ladies to go, I don't know what I'm thinking of really leaving with you, I will not be singing that line. Nope, not me. I'm gonna say, no thanks. Justin Timberlake wasn't recognized when he was charged, was he? I bet Britney was. That would be such an insult to the JT. Well, we'll have to watch the body cam footage and then we'll get these answers. The friend that comes in halfway is the worst, but JT at the cop shop is pretty sad. That's the other thing, is I will watch it, but I think it's just gonna be one of those like silly reality things that is actually just not silly, it's just sad, and it's just, and regardless of who it is, this is obviously a celebrity, so it makes it a little bit like, ooh, a little bit of JT. Get it? Because education. Shut up. I don't have, I don't deserve my brick wall for that one. But I've actually lost my train of thought after that. I was so embarrassed. Oh, I was so embarrassed that I can't even think what I was going to say. Oh yeah, it's just sad, regardless of if it's a celebrity or not. When I've seen these body cam footages of people who are getting arrested for whatever it is, it's just, especially people who are struggling with alcoholism and addiction, it's like, like I don't know how, like, what help you need, but I hope that you get it. Sad. Oh well, just cry me a river, exactly. We're in the ME. What's the ME? JT and Britney. In the news, maybe Bush is back. Yes, exactly. The Middle East. There we go. Yeah, war in the Middle East. We've got Justin Timberlake and Britney in the news. We have Bush is back, baby. Bush is back. Oh my goodness. Please don't use that joke in the special. Thanks. Yes, I will. You know, we were just testing. We were testing. Sometimes you gotta try new material, and yeah, that was not it. Thank you. I do like my little support kiwi as well. When Ariana Grande got caught licking a donut at a shop and putting it back, see, that's hilarious. She's crazy. She's crazy. Why did she do that? That's so gross. Like, did she get arrested for that? Did she get charged for that? She probably should have. I feel like that's, I don't know what that charge would be, but it, like, I am laughing about it, but like, that's crazy. You would do that. People are saying we're back in the early 2000s also. Scrubs and Malcolm in the Middle. I didn't know about Malcolm in the Middle, but I did know about Scrubs. Damn. Let's go back, eh? I Hope the rest are the wake-up calls. Exactly. Nobody knows how to pronounce aileron, but scientists speculate that all the letters are either silent or pronounced as soft J's. Fuck off. It's been pretty good. All right. Maybe I'll have to give it a go. She never got anything for her blackface. I don't even know what that's in reference to. I didn't know, and I guess that's also the point. I didn't even know. Oh my gosh. Sometimes we just have to... I don't even have a response, you know what? Hi, Dave! You absolute legend. Thank you. Very much appreciated. I will grab those. Oh, you're looking forward to Malcolm in the Middle. I think that could be interesting. And will that have all the originals? Even Bryan Cranston? That's so fun. If it's not illegal, it should be. I'll have to look these things up. We are back in the 2000s. That is like the other year when Running Up the Hill, exactly, because of Stranger Things, was being played on mainstream radio stations. Top Gun was in cinemas, mullets were back in fashion, and the West was having a proxy war with Russian. Freaking hell, yeah, we had gone back to the 80s. It actually, the Stranger Things, I haven't finished season 5 yet, but there were so many things where I was like making a lot of jokes of like, this is the 80s because of people falling over nothing. I'm like, wow, it's like just like an 80s horror film. Oh, that's right. And then the mullets. That's the other thing that reminded me. I was watching I have watched the Oscar ceremonies, so I'm now up to date. I know I don't like know all of the wins, but I have seen the wins. So I know now no longer need to worry about spoilers. But Jacob Elordi, who was Frankenstein, and he and Margot Robbie are now in Wuthering Heights. Yeah, they happened last week. I know people don't care, but Jacob Elordi, he is an Australian for those who don't know. He was in Euphoria as well, so he's been doing the rounds. And he just looks so Australian at the Oscars. He's got this little mustache, he's got the feathery mullety hair, and I'm just like, bruh, you really were like turning up for your country's look. And I can't say that I'm a big fan of the Aussie the Aussie vibe. The feathery hair, it's just anyway, I mean, you're not the only one who thinks that, Dalta. There's a reason he's getting all of these roles after all. Alright, so the Oscars happened, was it on YouTube or is that next year? I believe that is next year. But the thing is, and maybe this is my brain, I will have to look it up. They made a whole gag about how things will be exclusively on YouTube, but they also had so much satire from Conan O'Brien that I didn't actually... I wasn't sure if it's actually going to be on YouTube. Because they were talking about how things will now, be vertical, or they did like Subway Surfer references. I'm like, bro, Subway Surfer murder hasn't been a thing for ages for the younger audience. And so then I'm like, is it going to be on YouTube exclusively now? Because, like I said, they made this gag, and they're like, this is what it's going to be like. And then you just have ads in between watching it on the Oscars. So I really couldn't tell whether it was satire or if it's actually going to be on YouTube. And then they were making jokes about it actually being on YouTube. Anyway, I didn't think he was a very good host this year, personally, but nonetheless. So it will be happening. There we go. Okay. Now we know. Speaking of out of touch, okay, this is another reason why I like watching all of the ceremony, because I spoke about this briefly, is that I like watching it for the pageantry, but I also like watching it because it's easy pickings for judgment. I also like sitting there on my high stool is what I was gonna say, and I'm gonna stick with that. My high stool. because of the child that I am in my high chair, where I think it's fun to have no knowledge of what should or shouldn't win and just guessing anyway. My high horse, thank you, that's the one. And so, thank you. And so, there was a joke that was, there were so many bad jokes made. But speaking of out of touch, as the Oscars are, there was one in particular that I was like, bro, how did this get through? And so basically they made this gag about how, this is for the, one moment please.
Thanks to @Clem_approves for my sub gift. Hope you're doing spectacularly lovely.
Thank you, Dag. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing spectacularly as well. Very much appreciated. Thanks for that. That is very kind. We're just talking about the Oscars. Okay, so back on the flow. So there was Bridesmaids, the movie anniversary. So the 5 main women came on and they had a gag, and I thought it was kind of tasteless because they completely glossed over best original score, and it was just so unnecessary. But then that was problem number 1. Then the next part is that they literally have this whole skit of reading notes that were sent to them from the audience, and this note was saying how that, like, it's already late and they need to wrap up, and I just want to go home and have a pizza. And it's supposed to be from the kid from Hamnet, and then they cut away to the kid, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you cannot make any pizza jokes, especially with a child involved at this point in time. How did anyone not see that is just so inappropriate? Not even inappropriate timing, just inappropriate with everything that's going on, and not in a way that's like pushing the needle. It's just straight up bad. No, just do not talk about pizza when you're already as an entire industry in hot water, and then you're also cutting to the child in reference to eating the pizza. Oh my gosh. It just was so... And this is the thing, is a lot of people have been picking apart, and I won't dwell on this too long because I know it can be uncomfortable, but trust me, I'll skirt the line. So I know a lot of people have been picking apart the language that is used when it comes to the Epstein files. With the pizza, all of the order, the jerky, cheese pizza, it's all weird. And a lot of celebrities are getting swept up in that because they're talking about their pizza parties. And here is my take on the pizza parties. I genuinely think that the clips that people are using of this like celebrity, like Jennifer Aniston pizza parties, for example, actually don't necessarily have correlation with the Epstein files. I think that it's just a bunch of out of touch A-list celebrities who are trying to be like, yeah, we're part of the people, we just eat pizza too, like you, a regular Joe. That's me, I love the pizza. And this terrible joke is exactly a result of that. They're like, oh yeah, the kid just wants to go get a pizza, because what do kids love? Pizza. And we love pizza. We're just chill about pizza because we're just like you guys who love pizza. Anyway, I just needed to get that off my chest. Oh, but you do have a good point. The Pizzagate did start with the emails many years ago, but now it is being seen also with Epstein emails. So that's where the correlation is. But thank you for the extra addition. Anyway, guys, now I've got that out of the way because I haven't had anyone to share about it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Normal people don't talk about pizza that much, but I really do think that it's just out of touch celebrities being like pizza party rather than the gross the gross weirdness, the uncanny, like, what the hell is going on with these emails? I don't think that they are necessarily associated until maybe we get proven wrong, or rather I get proven wrong, and then I will rue my words, and then I'll be even more disgusted than I already am. Regardless, bad joke. I don't see how people couldn't tell that making a pizza joke at the Oscars, especially with a child involved, how that went through. It just, like I said, out of touch celebrities. Not like me. I love pizza. I'm just like you guys. I'm just a regular old Joe. Look at me. You know what? I might even eat my pizza on the floor. So ridiculous. So ridiculous. There's a time when Bill Cosby made essay jokes when his allegations first surfaced, and this reminds me of that. That is so... Oh, I didn't know that he did that. It's so gross. So gross. Anyway, guys, I think that will be enough from me, ending on that very cheery note, as it were. Yep, the lizard people out of touch. That's right. Thank you so much for all the follows. Hi, Dan. Pizza is fine if everyone is of age and consenting. Yeah, cheese pizza, always wrong. Exactly right. They could have said burgers. Exactly, that's the thing. They could have literally said anything. He could have said, yeah, I'm just tired and I want to go home and eat ice cream. Like anything. Literally anything. And they chose pizza. And even if that joke was written so many months ago, it doesn't make any sense because the Hillary emails have been happening for years, and then the Epstein files have just been released. Like, you can keep the joke by changing one word, and you decided pizza would just go through. And no one would have even spoken about it because it was a bad joke anyway. That whole gag really just infuriated me, especially as someone who feels so passionately about how important music is in cinema. Music, they basically are like, music really makes us feel, oh, wait a second. And then they did this whole elongated sketch completely ignoring how important music is for cinema. And how... that just made me so mad. Anyway. The gags are bads. There's a thin line between cringy and funny. Yeah, you do have a good point. Where do you land in Schland for Döner? Ooh, yes. But I don't eat the meat is the problem. Oh well. Anywho, time for pizza! I didn't even make the connection the joke was made, I just thought it was a shit joke. That's the thing, it was already a shit joke, but it was even worse with everything else going on. It was a lovely stream, thank you! I still never got my black coffee that I asked for at the start. Oh, my apologies. Yeah, I should probably serve that up. Oh, and you asked about the barista. Last stream, I talked about how I gave up my number. I do have updates where okay, so here are my updates on my, Dungeons and Dragons. So, basically, I got a text message. Because I gave out my number, and the text message said, "Hi, I got your number from the barista asking about D&D. I just want to make sure I've got the right person." And I was like, yes, it's me! I'm the D&D! Yes, this is the correct number. And I just said how I overheard people talking D&D. I just moved to UK, hoping to find an adventuring party. So if you ever in need of an extra player, don't hesitate to reach out, or even just catching up for coffee to chat board games. I was being like real chill about it. I was not being chill. And they said, sounds great. Shall we catch up? Shall we catch up for a coffee sometime? And I said, yeah, let's do that. I'm going overseas next week, but if you want to catch up beforehand, that's cool. If you want to wait until afterwards, that's cool too. So now I just have to wait to see when they want to get a coffee. That's the update. So my assumption is that this is not the because this is not the barista texting me. I think I got passed on to the dungeon master. I think they gave me to the dungeon master, which to me is a good thing. Because even if the barista, because maybe, you know, maybe that means I can make friends outside of the barista. The barista doesn't have to be the glue. The dungeon master is the glue. So, we'll see. Point being that I may or may not be joining an adventuring party. But we'll catch up and we'll see if we vibe first. We'll see what happens. Also, hi Yoshi, thank you so much. I very much appreciate the compliments. Yeah, pick me! I want to be in the party. And on top of that, I've already decided who my character is. I don't know what class they're going to be, but it's going to be Millie the Minotaur, because whoever these people are, I'm going to know who the fuck that is. So I don't care what class I play. Do they want a cleric? Do they want a barbarian? Do they want a warlock? I don't care. But I will try and play as a Minotaur. That is exactly the vibe we're gonna, and then I will get to live out my Millie the Minotaur librarian vibes, because it's gonna be cute. She could be a wizard, whatever she is. I don't care, but that is who I want to play, as long as they let me play a Minotaur. And I already know how to play, so they don't need to know how to do the feats. I already know their hooves. Anywho. She didn't sound too enthusiastic about it. Maybe we won't use it. I was just being too cool about it. I was like, yeah, like, no expectations. Like, no, it's no sweat. Gotta get in touch with the nerd, exactly. Cheers from Norway. Hi. So, yeah, it's good. Now I want pizza. I'm not gonna get pizza, but I do have my my fries, my melted cheesy fry wrap that's going straight in my mouth after this. My roomie has an air fryer, so I'll chuck it in there. I don't play. Oh my gosh, never played when I was kid. Too busy doing hood rat stuff. Hell yeah! So I'm trying to get this D&D organized. So fingers crossed. I will keep you updated as I get updated. Yeah, Mean Girl scenario, no. Yeah, DM's the gatekeeper usually anyway, so I actually think it's a good thing that I have been passed on to the DM, because that implies that it's like, oh, hey, there's this chick that likes D&D. If you guys, you know, because sometimes even as a party member, you can't always make it to all of the sessions, so it's actually better if I get along with the DM, because they're the one who's going to have to be consistently there. So even if other people can't turn up, I'll turn up. And I'm feeling like, why wouldn't they need an extra player, you know? Especially because if I was pretending that I wasn't listening, but, you know, hypothetically, they were talking about how they just, they need to know if someone can turn up, because otherwise they have to change the session. And I'm like, well, I can turn up. I can fight. I can get these hoofs out. So, I'm excited. Maybe they want a ranger? Wait, no, not a ranger. You're funny. Oh, thank you. It's the brick wall. We're bringing back our ball too. I'll see. It depends on what class I play as. Yes, yeah, this is Manu. M-A-N-U. Manu is our little kiwi bird. Manu means bird in Maori, but Manu is also a mask name that sometimes boys are called, and so that's Manu. All right, okay, so that is actually a nicer note to leave on than the previous conversation. So thank you for the segue, because I think that's a little bit more chipper than the other one. So Thanks for joining today. Hopefully next stream will be on the PC. If I get everything up and running today, then I will do a stream tomorrow. But if I'm still like, then it will be in a couple days. But nonetheless, I've been really, really enjoying a lot of the flexibility. So thank you guys for turning up whenever I can go live. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, whatever you get up to. Thanks for the hype today. Obviously, a big, huge shout out to Enlock for topping off the goal today. But thanks for just having a natter, as it were. You guys have been wonderful. Like I said last time, I've been really, really enjoying myself. I think a lot of that is coming from the comfort and relaxation, having my own space, even if it's on the ground. It does a lot for the mental. It truly, truly does. And I'm just in a really good space, and I hope that that's coming through for you guys as well, where we're just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but we'll just vibe no matter what. And then, I'm really pleased to be doing what I'm doing and having you guys to share these conversations with, whatever those conversations might be. Streams are like your favorite sibling went on her OE and is Skyping home every few days. That's honestly what I really like about it as well. It's just kind of intimate, I guess. And so I will set up the PC, but I think there is an element of like the couch streams and just like hanging out like this that I do really want to keep as well. I don't know what that looks like, but it might be nicer to have the nicer microphone again. Although this one actually has been doing very, very well. And it would still be nice to play some video games. So we'll find how it works. Yeah, we're just lost together. We're finding our way. So I'll see you guys soon. Whenever that is. Discord is the best place to stay up to date. I'll fix the bots. Let's kick Nightbot out. But look, Geeks Computer is back. Oh, they're beautiful. So we have that working, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. Okay, I'm done now. Much love. Bye.